station.
If the Bills are the AFC's best team, if indeed they are going to the Super Bowl, it's not a bad idea that they make today's stop in Washington. You see, these Bills have been a playoff team for only 3 seasons. And yes, while they face the heat of Miami, the noise of Houston, the wind and rain of Giant Stadium, never have they known exactly the madness of RFK. Never have they faced this kind of pressure cooker, this kind of stadium, with this kind of crowd singing this kind of song.
NBC Sports presents the National Football League. Today, it's the Buffalo Bills versus the Washington Redskins.
It's actually balmy in the nation's capital after 7 inches of snow a couple of days ago. Temperature almost 70 for the Bills and the Redskins in the regular season finale. Good afternoon, everyone. Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy. The playoff picture clearly in focus for these two teams. The Bills have won home field in the AFC. The Redskins will have to go a different route. They've got to go to Philadelphia next weekend to start off as a wild card against the Eagles. The edge off today's game, Trump, but both these coaches, Joe Gibbs and Marv Levy, they want that shored sharp for the playoff, and they want these guys going hard today.
No question about it, and there are individual matchups today that I think are very interesting. One, for Buffalo, Bruce Smith declared himself the best defensive lineman in the game. Nobody argues with him. Comes into the game with 19 sacks. Derek Thomas got his 20th for Kansas City yesterday in Chicago, and Bruce Smith wants to win that sack title. He is matched up today against Jim Lachey, all-pro offensive tackle of the Washington Redskins, and all their coaches say, without this guy, we're in the dumper. So he's played very well. Bruce Smith's got a big matchup.
Frank Reich, a local product from the University of Maryland, was sensational for the Bills in their win over Miami last week, and they expect him to be again, but it's a different story for his counterpart. Mark Rippon of the Skins has been shaky, Trump.
Yeah, he's been inconsistent for the Washington Redskins. He's thrown a lot of interceptions in the last 3 games, count 8. But over the last 14 games, he is 11-3 as a starter for the Washington Redskins. And for the Redskins to go a long way in the playoffs, Don, frankly, Mark Rippon has got to get hot.
He is 11-3 as a starter in his last 14 starts for the Skins as now Washington kicks off. The bouncer that Al Edwards is looking to field at his 5-yard line for the Bills. Breaks it out to the 24-yard line. Minuski down to make the tackle on special teams as Frank Reich leads the Buffalo Bills out on offense. His offensive line has been outstanding. Wolford, Richer, Hall, Davis, and Ballard. Hall's going back to the Pro Bowl. Thurman Thomas, an all-pro runner. Mueller, his blocker. Lofton and the all-pro Andre Reed, the receivers. McKellar, a long ball receiver, tight end. Extra wideouts come in, and Al Edwards and Don Smith will come out of the backfield on long yardage. First down and 10 for the Bills. Looking to become the first AFC team since the '84 Dolphins to win 14 regular season games. Thurman Thomas runs on first down, and outside backer Andre Collins knocks him down. Washington on defense, a little shaky up front because of injuries. Charles Mann will go as long as he can with a bad knee. Harold Grant and Jumpy Geathers started the tackles, and Fred Stokes is in for Marcus Cook at right end. Collins, Govea, and Wilbur Marshall, the backers. Former Bill Mayhew at one corner, all-pro Darrell Green at the other. Safeties, Walton and Bowles. We could see a 3-4 from the Redskins, a defense they don't normally play, but they might have to because of the attrition in the defensive line because of injuries. Second down and 7. Bills go to the power run again, and this time the fullback, Mueller, takes it across the 30-yard line out to the 31. where defensive tackle Tim Johnson from Penn State tackled him.
Don, certainly no question, early stages of the game, both these teams want control of the line of scrimmage. They want to make it as simple, as straightforward a game as they possibly can. Both coaches said first consideration, avoid injury as you look at Joe Gibbs. His offensive line, defensive line, and starting quarterback been injured throughout the season. And Marv Levy, that's the first thing he told us last night when we talked to him. We want to stay healthy.
Every win builds confidence, Levy says, and we don't lose that fine edge we have. And the Redskins are looking to get theirs back after blowing a game at Indianapolis a week ago Saturday night. 3rd down and 3. Reich takes a look. The rush is on, and Reich is swept under back at the 20-yard line.
Don, I personally think that's one of Frank Reich's greatest attributes. A lot of young quarterbacks or quarterbacks who have not made a lot of starts in the NFL will try to make the big play and throw it out there. Frank Reich is not afraid of taking the sack. Marshall on the outside. Thurman Thomas attempts the block. Marshall eventually gets the sack. That's one of the great reasons that there's tremendous confidence in Frank Reich. He'll take the sack and not give up the ball.
Redskins should get good field position here as Tootin punts for Buffalo. Joe Howard back, and up back Brian Mitchell takes it. And the rookie is inside the 40-yard line and down to the 38. So the Redskins, in a game that has no bearing on where they'll start out in the playoffs, that's been decided. They go to Philadelphia, as mentioned, for a wild card. Really want this one. Gibbs was at practice yesterday saying that we've worked as hard or harder as coaches this week as we have all season. We expect the same from our players on game day, just like it's for a playoff spot.
I'll tell you this, there's not a lot of coaching goes on in this offense of the Redskins. They do so little, but they do it so well.
Very fundamental, overpowering running game, and Biner now goes on an end around to Art Monk. He's inside the 35, and Monk takes it down close to the 30-yard line. Williams, the left cornerback, made the stop for the Bills.
They run this reverse off the gut. They fake just a straight dive to Biner. Mark Rippon, number 11, out there to get in someone's way. Monk cuts outside. Probably would have made more yards going inside. But it's a 9-yard pickup to start the game for the Redskins.
Redskins keep the defense adjusting. They probably have more multiple sets than any team in the league. People always in motion, shifting. Now Rippon goes, and the give is to Ernest Biner. He's rushed for over 100 yards his last 4 games. He's ahead for a Redskin first down. Lachey, an all-pro tackle at the left side. Some feel he's the best tackle in football now. McKenzie, Bostic, Schlereth, and Jacoby, a very strong offensive line. Rippon at quarterback. Biner is ace back, the 1 back. Monk, Sanders, and Clark, the posse. The wide receivers, they put extra people in with power backs, H backs, extra tight ends, Jimmy Johnson, Ron Middleton, Don Warren, 3 tight ends. They have 5 on the Redskins, and they all play from time to time. First down and 10, Redskins. Temperature almost 70. Second back is Biner. He's a slasher, the former Cleveland Brown. He's headed to the Pro Bowl. First down carry is good for about 3.
Interesting aspect of that running play was a formation movement all over the place, and they run a play called the nose bang. Watch the tight end. He's going to come in here on the nose tackle. They featured this last week against Indianapolis. Boom. That's right, that gets moved out of there, and Ernest Biner straight up ahead. Just a little kind of a change up in the Redskin offense, but it's a nightmare to that nose tackle.
Washington, tough to beat in this stadium. They're 6-1 this season at home, have won 8 of their last 9 here. Touchdown thrown to the end zone, but there's nobody there. A deep throw by Rippon, but he made a misread, or the receivers did, on an option route.
Yeah, he was going to Don Warren, and Warren was held up at the line of scrimmage, couldn't get down in the end zone.
Looking at Buffalo's defense, Leon Seals, Jeff Wright, and the All-Pro Bruce Smith, another All-Pro Cornelius Bennett, Shane Collins, another Pro Bowler, Ray Bentley, an inside backer, and Darryl Talley. They could be Pro Bowlers. They played that well. Williams and Odoms at the corners. Smith and Hagee are the safeties. Clifford Hicks and Dwight Drain will come in as the dime backs when they go to a 6 DB formation. Third down. Redskins need 6. No score in the first quarter. Rippon gets time. He makes a throw. Caroms off his receiver. A big heat put on by Bruce Smith, who almost had the sack. Nate Odoms was covering on the play. The intended receiver was Art Monk.
That was the intended receiver. I think primary receiver was Brian Mitchell out of the backfield, number 30. But if you watch the pressure, Bruce Smith, top of the screen, just throws Jim Lachey out of the way in his right and Rippon's space. I'm telling you, the more you watch this Bruce Smith, he does some things that are just off the chart strength-wise.
Just beat the great blocker Lachey flat out there. Arrived a split second late. Lohmiller, a very good place kicker, hits it up and good. And the Redskins go on the board first with a field goal by Lohmiller. They take a 3-0 lead, and Washington will kick off for a second time when we come back to RFK.
I'm waxing philosophic about how to spend all the money I saved on my new Geo Tracker when it hit me. Way cool.
Getting to know you.
Hey, how about low? How low can you go? Oh, yeah. Wild. Yo, park the car, Jeeves. Nah.
Get to know Geo Tracker. Then go a little nuts.
Of course, a stereo would be nice.
Holiday greetings from Budweiser. The people who bring you Budweiser wish you and yours the very best of everything this holiday season.
When you're all stuffed up and use an ordinary nasal spray, it drips into your tissue where it can't help you breathe. But not Sinex Ultrafine Mist. Its medicine stays where you need it, so you can breathe the way you want to. We don't drip down, we clear up.
There is a better battery. The Napa legend, the better battery.
Don, we mentioned the big matchup. Watch this first pass play by the Washington Redskins and the job that Bruce Smith does, absolutely running over Jim Lachey. Just shoves him right back in the backfield. Is almost there to get Rippon as Monk misses the reception. Boy, oh boy. I'm sure Jim Lachey is wondering, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Here is the kickoff downfield now. It is taken in the end zone by Don Smith, and he'll not bring it out, and the Bills will go from their 20-yard line. After going 3 and out, their first possession. Frank Reich, you see the numbers he had last Sunday against Miami. Probably the most important game for the Buffalo Bills, the biggest win in 25 years, that victory over Miami since the '65 AFL championship team.
And, you know, I liked his comment last night. Last week's game was the one with the most pressure because if we'd have lost that, we'd have lost home field advantage, and everyone would have blamed it on that particular game.
Now Reich with his team, first down and 10. Wide receivers to either side. They have a tight end, McKellar, out. Pitch back goes to Thurman Thomas, and again, there's not much there for him as he tries the left side of the Skins defense. A two-time Pro Bowler, number 58. Wilbur Marshall made the strike. As we check now the 10-minute ticker. Here in Washington is a 3-0 game. The Redskins in the lead on the Lohmiller field goal. Nothing up yet in Cincinnati between the Browns and the Bengals. No scores to report in the 1 o'clock game. Second down and 6. Pump fake by Reich. Buys some time with the scramble, then throws for a first down. He gets it to McKellar. Andre Collins was covering. Apparently he lost the ball. It is ruled incomplete. And so it looked to be a first down completion to McKellar is negated.
You see McKellar out there as the wide receiver. It just runs a hitch, but it's read very, very well. They didn't fool Alvin Walton one bit, and then he can't make the catch on the hitch, fake up, and hitch. Two gloves there, white, red, just a fashion statement for Keith McKellar. I asked him one time if it had any particular significance. He said absolutely none.
These teams haven't played since '87 when they met in Orchard Park. Washington won handily 27-7. Reich takes off on his own. He'll get the first down and more as he slides to a halt at the 34-yard line. He needed 6. He got almost 10. A.J. Johnson was there to cover, so Reich shows some good mobility.
From the shotgun, this is another great attribute of Frank Reich. Has great faith in his running ability, just gets the first down, gets on the ground, keeps the drive alive. I repeat what I said earlier. This kid is so composed for the little he's played in the NFL. There are his starts, and you look at the impressive offensive numbers, and he's just not made many mistakes in those 4 starts, all wins.
Well, that's just what Joe Gibbs was saying at practice yesterday, assessing Reich. He said he doesn't make mistakes. He didn't at Maryland. He doesn't in the NFL. Thurman Thomas looking to turn it up, but the rookie from Penn State, Andre Collins, number 55, runs him out. This young man, a second-round draft choice, is only the second rookie in the 10 years Joe Gibbs has been head coach of the Redskins who's been a starter as a first-year player. The other is the all-pro cornerback Darrell Green.
Great speed. And with this 4-man front that the Washington Redskins run, you need great speed on those outside linebackers because their responsibility is cover from the hash to the sideline. You'll see the Washington Redskins in a great deal of man-to-man coverage. That puts a boatload of responsibility tackle-wise on those linebackers, Don.
Second down and 12 now. The out pattern is swung out to Mueller. He turns it upfield and gets over the 40-yard line, close to a first down. He'll be a bit short of it, bringing up third down. Again, Andre Collins, who'll flop from side to side as an outside backer, comes across and makes the play.
You can see 41 just coming out of the backfield. This is a rare reception by Jamie Mueller, although this year he's caught more than he has at any previous time in his career. Not much of a pass receiver when he came out of college, and really spent a lot of time in the offseason catching almost 200 balls a day from one of those throwing machines. Made himself a decent receiver. Not great, just decent.
Well, he was good enough to beat the Jets with his first career touchdown reception earlier in the year. Thurman Thomas is flanked out now. Reich with a timing throw to McKellar. Loses the ball. Free ball. Redskins have it. Wilbur Marshall.
It's reviewable. Everybody's applauding, but you always have to wait nowadays with the replay because they've got that excellent second look as Wilbur Marshall throws it up into the stands. See if we can pick up. Second foot must be down by McKellar. 1, 2. Oh, looks like it's down. Fumbled. May stand. From that viewpoint down, it looked like he had control of it. Let's see if we can pick up anything different here. Marshall's got him all the way. 1, 2. Yes, sir. Stripped away by Wilbur Marshall. Washington ball. They didn't even review it.
No, there was no review, and now we go to live action. Redskins have the ball, first down and 10, leading 3-0. Play fake, rip and looks deep. Fastball, strike, down to the 26-yard line. Gary Clark turning in, having another terrific year. That was his 74th reception. He's been in the end zone 8 times. A Pro Bowler again.
See, it's zone coverage. Odoms lets him go inside. This is a good play-action fake by Mark Rippon. They faked the counter gap, held the linebackers. Clark had plenty of room to run that pattern down the field. Look at those numbers. This kid's remarkable.
Last year he had 79 receptions. He could exceed that now. They go to him a lot, and they go to him deep. He's the best deep threat. Biner eludes a tackler and comes inside the 25-yard line down to the 24. Ernest Biner now with 1,200 yards rushing this season. Been a 100-yard rusher 5 times in the last 4 games in a row.
One of the plays that the Washington Redskins have featured for a year is the counter gap. And you'll see the guard tackle pull near side. And Biner, when he steps back, he jumps outside. Bruce Smith is coming down the line there. Darryl Talley makes the stop. They stop that counter gap first time they run it.
Now they go back to action, and Joe Howard takes a quick out. Gets ahead on second down and 8. And Howard is down close to the 15-yard line and very close to a first down. Jamie Williams makes the play. Howard, a former wide receiver and kick returner at Notre Dame, a local product, started as a high school player at Gonzaga High School in D.C.
He was also a point guard for Notre Dame, wasn't he? Didn't Digger Phelps talk him in to come out and playing basketball?
Wasn't bad. He was with the Bills at one time. Never made the regular season roster. He was with them a couple of summers. Third down and a yard for the Redskins as they lead in the first quarter 3-0. Miner, he got the yard. That's all he got. The linesman coming in appears to make the spot a bit short.
Fourth down, you take the points or you go for it. I think knowing next week you go into the playoffs, I think you kick it. Take the points. See if Joe Gibbs and I agree. Oh, he's going to go for it. That's Don Bro, the running back coach. You see there waving frantically on the sideline. He's signaling into Rippon what the play is.
Don Bro signaling in all the plays. He said the basis of our running game is to mask our intent. With all the misdirection and stutter steps, people in motion. Now on the rollout, Rippon lofts the ball into the end zone, and down there to cover nicely is Williams. The rookie #1 draft choices again. Bruce Smith threw aside Lachey and smashed into Mark Rippon. So Lachey, who shut out people like Richard Dent, is getting beat today by big Bruce Smith.
Takes that inside move, and Lachey is just a little too aggressive in his setup. Allows Bruce Smith right on the chest of Mark Rippon.
If you're like a lot of people, you're probably trying to cut back on caffeine. You certainly don't want to find it in unexpected places. So you might be surprised to learn that your pain reliever may contain caffeine. Check the label. There is no caffeine in Tylenol. With Tylenol, all you get is fast, effective relief without caffeine. And you should know that hospitals use Tylenol nearly 5 times more than all other pain relievers combined. Tylenol, the pain reliever hospitals use most.
I'm waxing philosophic about how to spend all the money I saved on my new Geo tracker when it hit me. Way cool.
Getting to know you.
Hey, how about low? How low can you go? Oh, yeah. Wild. Yo, park the car, Jeeves. Nah.
Get to know Geo Tracker. Then go a little nuts.
Of course, a stereo would be nice.
You know, Dad always said, Norman, you have to give 100% every day.
If you want 100% whole grain, only one of these leading cereals has it. Only Wheaties is made with 100% whole grain.
Dad also said, Norman, if you want to be a champion,
better get your whole grain.
Better eat your Wheaties. But you better never call me Norman.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Geo. Get to know Geo. Available right around the corner at your Chevrolet Geo dealers. By Tylenol, the pain reliever hospitals use most. By IBM. Whatever your size, whatever your needs, IBM is working to bring you the best solutions. And by the Budweiser family of beers, who also bring you Bud Bowl 3 coming January 27th.
Big Jim Hannafin, who coached you, Trump, didn't he, at Illinois?
At the University of Utah.
You had a couple schools.
Yes, I did. I had several coaches, too.
First down carry. Third down. Let's see what they're going to rule it there. It's going to be down at about the 22-yard line, and the marker came in right away, a holding call against Buffalo. So after they stopped the Redskins, the Bills now can't get it going at their end. Another penalty. Marv Levy said, so very easy to come off in a very emotional victory like a week ago as we have a holding call.
First down.
That's against Will Wolford.
Will Wolford, the left tackle, and not be sharp. Said you can't get this back. As Andre Reed told us last night, Trump, he said, we got here with an attitude. We can't lose that attitude.
No question about it. But these players don't have accelerators. And every week you can't push it to 100%. And as much as you try as a coach and a player to get it to 100%, some weeks it's just not there. And last week was a very emotional week for Buffalo. It's understandable that they're not at a full 100%.
First down. The 8-yard line. Bills need 18. Reich against a blitz. Gets the ball downfield, and it's taken down by McKellar, who fumbled the last time. A beautifully executed play by the Buffalo Bills as an all-out blitz by Minuski, the middle linebacker. He wasn't picked up. Reich, cool as he can be, watch him stand in and deliver a perfect throw.
You see the little block, chip block by Thurman Thomas, and there's the basketball ability of Keith McKellar. Coming out of college, this kid had very little football experience, but he went over the top of Alvin Walton, just like going up for a rebound. Hangs onto that football very well. The Bills admit they have no idea how good this kid might be. They think it's going to be very good.
Well, he's fast enough to run the deep patterns. They have him out as a wideout right now. 3 wide receivers. Their core is down with the injury to Tom Beebe. First down, they go to a slant to the first back, Jamie Mueller. And he takes it ahead across the 40 to the 42-yard line. Gain of 7 on the play.
Greg Minuski made the tackle there, and he's coming off to the sideline holding his arm. Does not look too healthy. Walks right to a trainer. There he is. Mueller really blasted him, and Minuski looks like he's hurting in the shoulder.
He's been dinged earlier. He's been a real find, a free agent from Colgate. Now in his 3rd year of the Redskins. Second down, they need 3 with the ball is spotted. Thomas finds the yards come tough, and again the Skins take it away as Buffalo comes in with a 13-2 record, but looks like the Bills when they used to be 2-13.
Yeah, you know, Tim Johnson had time on the recovery. This Washington Redskin defense is difficult to identify. They move around so much. The Bills are having great trouble running the ball.
It's Chevrolet Geo winter time, where everyone can win with the trucks more people are switching to.
Sir, how many doors does this 4-door Chevy S10 Blazer have?
4.
Close enough. You can win with cashback or low financing.
And what's your favorite pickup?
Chevy half-ton. It's America's favorite, too. And you can win with cashback on Chevy pickups, Astros, Suburbans.
Wrap it up. I'll take it.
You got it. Better get trucking to your Chevy Geo dealer during winter time.
Creating documents with some computers happens one step at a time. But an IBM PS2 with microchannel, on the other hand, can position headline and text, create stunning graphics, revise charts, receive photos, all at the same time. So a PS2 gets the job done in no time, instead of dragging along. For impressive documents, how are you going to do it? PS to it.
How fast does Dristan nasal spray start working to clear up congestion?
Hey, I didn't expect it to start to work this fast.
Dristan nasal spray starts to work in seconds.
This is no night for weak batteries.
Got enough energy to pull us through, Rudolph?
That's why you should test all your batteries with the new Copper Top Tester. A little present. Only from Duracell.
Learn about Elvis Presley's prom date and the woman who dumped him, plus shocking scenes from a mid-air crash into the Empire State Building on an all-new Story Behind the Story on NBC Wednesday.
The Bills with a plus 15 in the giveaway takeaway. You see in the recent years they've been abominable, like an 86 and minus 21. That's been a big key to their success. But today the Skins have been taking it away. 2 fumble recoveries by Washington. Skins lead it just 3-0, but they've had chances every possession.
Go, Jeff!
Bills shut down the run at the 40 on a first down carry by Ernest Biner.
If we look at this fumble again, watch the top side of the screen, you'll see Tracy Rocker. He's the one who makes the hit, strips the ball away from Thurman Thomas. The ball is now on the ground. Tim Johnson right there. Even though Charles Mann was introduced as the defensive end, Tim Johnson makes the start at defensive end and picks up the second fumble there for the Redskins. So they've had great field position to start this game, all on Buffalo's side of the 50.
Skins are 5-0 this year, coming off a loss. They were beaten in their last game. Biner weaves his way through. Shane Conlon finally gets him, but on a 2nd and 10 play, he gets him 6 yards downfield, inside the 35-yard line.
You know, it looks like the Bills are so conscious of the counter gap that Washington runs so well. There's Walt Corey, the defensive coordinator. They're stacking their defense to the corners, the outside by the tight ends. So Washington is making the adjustment of running up through the middle. That's the chess game that Walt Corey and Joe Gibbs will play all day.
As Corey said last night, Trump, doesn't matter what the score is, the Skins never stop that power running game. Right now they're going to throw it. A connection, a hard stick by Shane Conlon. But it's going to be good for a first down as Art Monk makes his 63rd reception of the season. He's going to one day, if he continues to play a couple more years, be the all-time reception leader.
He shows no signs of slowing down. Watch again, Bruce Smith, top of the screen on Jim Lachey. This has been a consistent part so far, early stages of this game, and that is Bruce Smith right in the chest of Mark Rippon. I mean, that time, the tight end helped Lachey. Smith still able to get right in the chest of Mark Rippon.
Back to the power run they go, and again, Biner firing out behind the Hogs. Those big offensive linemen. Bostic having another terrific year at center for the Redskins. Leon Seals makes the tackle as we check the 10-minute ticker.
Is it working?
Giants have extended their lead to 10-0 over New England. Miami just got a touchdown throw from Dan Marino, and they have tied up the Indianapolis Colts. On 2nd and 6, Biner runs it left. Moving behind a tight end. Blocking for him was Jimmy Johnson, number 88. And a tackle is made inside the 25-yard line as we're winding out in the first quarter. 34 seconds to play, and the Skins lead at 3-0.
This is just straight-ahead zone blocking by the Washington Redskins as we've got a Buffalo Bill down on the ground. That looks like a big one, too. See if we can pick out. That's Leon Seals, starting defensive end.
Leon Seals, who's had a standout year and a lot of pain, unfortunately.
There is big-time controversy brewing in Bud Bowl 3. Bud Light's top draft choice, Bud Dry, announced he may give up football and play baseball instead. While it would be the BFL's loss, it would certainly be baseball's gain. Major League Manager Tommy Lasorda had this to say.
You don't see athletes like this every day.
Will it be footballs or fastballs for Bud Dry? For Bud Bowl Update, I'm Chris Burke. It's Chevrolet Geo winter time, where everyone can win with the most fuel-efficient line of cars and trucks in America.
Sir, what's your favorite color?
Medium Quasar Blue Metallic.
Good guess.
You can win with cash back or low financing on any Geo. Tracker, Storm, Prism.
Miss, come here often?
I've never even bought a new car before.
Well, then you can win with a first-time buyer bonus on any Geo.
I love this Metro.
I can tell.
Get to know Geo during wintertime at your Chevy Geo dealer.
One day there was just too much gray. I thought, should I or shouldn't I? I didn't. I was afraid it might look phony. I wanted natural-looking color, and I wanted to do it right, with no pouring and mixing. Nobody else could give me what I wanted until Clairol Option Instant for Men. I figured if it's from Clairol, I could trust it. I could. I went from gray to my natural-looking color in 5 easy minutes. My hair looks great, feels great. When I look in the mirror, I don't see gray. I see me.
Do it right with Option, also in gradual formula.
NBC Sports kicks off the new year with a Hall of Fame Bowl as Clemson battles Illinois. Then Louisville takes on Alabama in the Fiesta Bowl. And it's a primetime showdown of the Orange Bowl as #1 Colorado battles Notre Dame to decide the national championship. New Year's Day, NBC is the place to be.
Don, here's the injury to Leon Seals. This next step he takes, I believe, is going to be his last.
96.
Yeah. There you see it. I believe that's going to be his last for the 1990 season. I don't want to play doctor.
Yeah, fortunately, we don't know that for sure.
Yeah, thank God he's on grass. If he were on AstroTurf, that would be a much worse injury.
He seemed to be a lot better after he got up and moved down a little bit. So the Bills now have to make some defensive adjustments as the Redskins drive on, leading the game 3-0. 11 seconds to go in the first quarter. Rippon drills that fastball and hits Art Monk. He's to the 10-yard line, and it's 1st and goal, Redskins.
Art Monk again.
Williams was the tackler for the Bills. James Williams.
Running a little slant. As the quarter ends, the pass has worked. The run has not worked so far for the Redskins.
They've had the ball just about the entire first quarter, have the Skins.
They say you get what you pay for.
At McDonald's, we insist on it. For your good money, you'll find just one offering here. Good food. McDonald's. Always good food, always good value.
When it comes to buying a color TV, many people think state-of-the-art begins overseas, when the truth is, state-of-the-art starts here. You just have to know what to ask for. Ask for the only TVs with a great picture and 4 ways to enjoy stereo sound, like Bose and Dolby Surround. Ask for picture-in-picture with triple flashback. Ask for the hottest ideas in home theater. Ask to see a Zenith. For true innovation in television, quality never looked more like a Zenith.
In 1859, Isaac Cook created a Great American Champagne to launch the Great American Clipper ships. Today, people are still launching celebrations with Cook's Imperial American Champagne.
This is Bob Costas in New York. After Indianapolis took a 7-0 lead at Miami on a Jeff George touchdown pass to Albert Bentley, Dan Marino sent Sammy Smith out of the backfield, hit him over the middle. He gallops across for the touchdown, 53-yarder all told. Game tied 7-7 at Joe Robbie.
At RFK, it is 3-0. The Washington Redskins in the lead. Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy at this sold-out stadium. The Redskins playing like there's a whole lot on the line, as they have really done a big job. They're not only beating the Bills, albeit by a slight margin, they're beating them up for the most part.
Yeah, Don, I think Buffalo needs to get their own football there. Washington uses the one out there on the field. I mean, they're running all over. I shouldn't say running. They're able to move the ball with the little play-action fake and the good passing, and Buffalo's having trouble stopping them. And Marv Levy's worst fear, I think, has just been realized. He's got a major injury to a starting defensive lineman.
Handoff goes to Biner, who's inside the 10 and down to the 7-yard line. Well, we're going to wait and get a report on the extent of the injury. It looked like a hyperextension to Leon Seals, who has really been a standout at defensive end, as he is now being attended to. It was his left knee. He was hit head-on by his shoulder. Second down arises now for Washington as the ball, as we open the second quarter of play, positioned the 7-yard line of the Bills. Biner taken down, no gain. Good play by 56, Darrell Talley. Joe Gibbs said, assessing Buffalo, he said they got 8 guys going to the Pro Bowl and 3 more that ought to be, and Talley's one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Darrell Talley's been overlooked every single year, probably in big part because he plays behind Bruce Smith, and Bruce Smith gets so much attention. He gets so much television coverage in the course of a football game. But Talley is the biggest part of that defense. I noticed, too, that Mark Pike is in a defensive end for Leon Seals. Number 94.
Rippon with the rush coming from Cornelius Bennett, throws it away. Rippon has been errant, and he's heard a lot of boos. Not going to get any accolades from Coach Gibbs on that throw. Defending on the play for Buffalo was Clifford Hicks, number 27, but nobody had to defend that. You couldn't have got it with a ladder.
I agree with you. Brian Mitchell was wide open, the running back out of the backfield. You can see Brian Mitchell, number 30, and Art Monk was saying, hey, I was held. You can chuck me 1 time, but you can't chuck me 3 times. And the ball is up in the stands. He said, come on, throw the flag. You got that yellow thing in your pocket? Get it out of there.
And again, the Redskins get down close, but can't get in. They try another field goal now. Remember, they went for it on 4th and 1 a little bit ago and didn't get there. Buffalo took over. Now Lohmiller hits his second field goal in as many tries, and the Redskins extend their lead to 6-0.
In time, all definitions must be revised. But when it came to redefining luxury, it wasn't a Webster, it was Oldsmobile, the all-new 98. Now you can have anti-lock brakes, fuel-efficient power, computerized suspension, technology found in cars costing thousands more, which by my definition could be the greatest luxury of all. And you can always take a Webster at his word.
This is the new 98. Luxury redefined.
Generation of Olds.
We're rolling. Okay. Here we are enjoying America's game and America's light brew. Show 'em a Miller Lite. I'll get a shot. All right. Well, what's this? 45,000 prizes. Well, scratch it off. We're going to the Super Bowl. Tampa? Tampa! Road trip! We need food. and a new car. So which way to Tampa? Follow that guy. Hey, wait up!
Only one beer has your tickets to Super Bowl 25. Look for details wherever Miller Lite is sold.
Today, a guy losing his hair can choose between being the man he wants to be
We look great with hair. Do something to save it.
and the man he could become.
Can't you accept nature like everyone else?
Doctors have hair loss treatment programs that are proven to work, and the sooner you see a doctor, the better.
We don't want nature. We want hair.
When you've considered the arguments,
We might look great bald.
and you decide you want hair, there's only one thing to do. See your doctor. Or call this number for more information.
The best bowls are on NBC as the Fighting Illini of Illinois battle the Clemson Tigers at the Hall of Fame Bowl. New Year's Day, NBC is the place to be.
One of the anchors of the Bills' defense, Leon Seals, being attended to. Get some words from his line coach, Chuck Dickerson, after injuring a knee late in the first quarter. Kickoff. Here comes Don Smith. More standout special teams play by Washington as Kurt Govea was there, and so was Raven Caldwell. Now let's go to NFL Live in New York. Bob?
All right, Don, after intercepting Boomer Esiason, the Browns drove to the Cincinnati 1. They gave it to Derek Gaynor on 4th down. No, he didn't get there, the official said. Cleveland asked for a review. They did review it. Inconclusive. Play calls as stands. Jim Schaffner's team gets zipped. No score in the second.
Thank you, Bob. At least they're in the game, no Trump. At least at this early point, the Browns. They've not been that in recent weeks. Bills looking to get some offense. On 1st and 10, Wright stands in the pocket, eludes the rush, and now he goes down. Jumpy Geathers and Tracy Rocker. Wilbur Marshall.
Well, so far, Buffalo is having great difficulty protecting their quarterback. These guys are pass rushing fools up there, and you see Andre Collins coming from one side, and you also see Wilbur Marshall coming from the other side, so they're committing six guys to rushing the quarterback. That time Rocker just off the IR list. He gets the credit for the sack.
See the awards he won at Auburn, both the Outland and Lombardi awards. He played in 6 weeks, jumping off sides against the Giants in a critical situation. Didn't help his cause with Coach Gibbs. Mueller runs. Andre Collins stops him. Early report on Leon Seals is that he has a sprained left knee. So that the extent of that you just don't know at this point.
He has at least a sprained left knee, and I repeat, playing on grass, however serious the injury is, it's helped by playing on grass. You saw his foot slide. Normally on AstroTurf, it sticks, and it's major injury. There's the doctor looking at him, and neither looks very happy.
Richard Weiss, the Bills team physician, checking him out. Some valuable knees in tough shape on the Bills roster, including that of Jim Kelly. His left knee is bothering him still. Wright tries to throw, and the Bills on offense have been inept against the Washington defense. The Skins, although they lead by just a 6-0 count, have totally and completely dominated the Buffalo Bills, the American Conference's best team.
That was James Lofton, the primary receiver there. The ball was thrown way behind him.
Rick Tootin ready to punt it again. 12:16 to go in the first half. Joe Howard back deep for the Redskins. High punt with a carry inside the 45, and small wonder Howard, as they calls him, takes it up the middle into the 47-yard line of Buffalo. Bills have had one player who stood out, and he has been superlative again, and that's defensive end Bruce Smith. Other than that, Redskins own the ball game at this point.
At Northwest, a free flight is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Fly 3 round trips, get 1 free. The more you fly, the better it gets. Earn free flights to terrific sites. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. For details, call Northwest or your travel agent today. Important conditions apply.
This Oldsmobile got 16 highway miles a gallon and went 0 to 60 in 8 seconds. This one gets 30 miles a gallon and gets to 60 in 7 seconds. Isn't technology wonderful?
This is a new generation of love.
This is a 2-hour ride.
So?
So what if my diarrhea comes back?
Oh, relax. You took these Imodium AD caplets.
Just once. I always took the pink stuff 2 or 3 times.
Well, these are much better.
Imodium AD caplets are so effective, they often work in one dose, instead of dose after dose after dose like the pink stuff.
We're leaving.
Already?
Imodium AD caplets can make your first attack of diarrhea your last.
Back in 1966, Oldsmobile brought on a revolution with front-wheel drive. Today, the evolution of Smart Track, the combination of all-wheel drive and anti-lock brakes, will again take the world by storm.
This is the new generation of
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Oldsmobile. Stop by your Oldsmobile dealer and see what's new from the new generation of Olds. By the Upjohn Company. If you're concerned about hair loss, see your doctor. By Northwest Airlines. Northwest's World Perks free travel program lets you fly free fast. And by Miller Lite, with a reminder to please think when you drink this holiday season.
Temperature in the mid-60s after 7 inches of snow a couple of days ago here in D.C. And the Redskins have the ball again. They've had it virtually the entire game, leading Buffalo on 2 Low Miller field goals, 6-0, second quarter. Rippon screens it out. This is Gary Clark on the run. Gets away from Bruce Smith, but now he has a major problem and a loss on the play of about 10 yards.
Boy, Don, that was a great play by Bruce Smith. Recognized the screen. Leonard Smith is up there to make the tackle. That screen is turned in by Bruce Smith. Not something you, as a defensive coach, would ever expect the defenseman to do. Watch what happens. He starts the pass rush, realizes what's happening, and he's out there to make Gary Clark turn back in. Not what you would call your basic defensive end responsibility, but he's more than willing to fill the role.
And the strong safety, Leonard Smith, made the play. Bruce Smith talks a big game and plays an even better one. Nonpareil. Rippon lets it go deep. Good coverage there. Buffalo had it well cordoned off as Nate Odoms was running deep with Art Monk. Brings up 3rd in long yardage, 3rd and 20.
The back of Rippon is very dirty. He has been on the ground on all but 1 pass attempt today.
Minnesota taking a 3-0 lead over the 49ers. The Patriots just got a 40-yard touchdown throw from Tommy Hobson to Irving Fryer. Miami's gone up in front of Indianapolis 14-7. Mark Rippon is a native of Canada, still holds Canadian citizenship. He played at Washington State. He's big, 6'4", 234 pounds. Drafted in the 6th round. Goes that good tight spiral, and Art Monk, who's averaged 66 receptions a season for 11 years, makes yet another catch. He has 64 so far this season.
With the Buffalo defense sitting way deep there, they'll allow that 10, 12-yard reception when it's 3rd down and almost 20. Yeah, you'll give him that short reception. Washington has to punt.
And Kelly Goodburn is now in the game to punt for the first time today. Back as a rookie for the Buffalo Bills, Al Edwards. Well hit ball by Goodburn, who was with Kansas City. Edwards will let it hop, and it's going to take a skins roll. Nailed down into the 12-yard line. Todd Bowles was down, number 23, to make the play on special teams. So Goodburn comes off, his job well done, and Buffalo again has the long field to go. Trailing 6-0 with 10:25 to play in the first half. Reich hasn't had time to get the ball downfield. Let's see what they go to when they come back.
Okay, what's new with the new generation of Oldsmobile? Still wondering?
This is the new generation of Olds.
The world's first dynamo was invented by Werner Siemens in 1866. It began the revolution that brought electricity to everyone. That was then. This is now. The generation, distribution, and control of energy are at the heart of Siemens today, where you work, live, and play. And
And with 35,000 people at work nationwide, Siemens is leading the way into the next century. Siemens, precision thinking.
If you buy this new Oldsmobile and have a burning desire to haul 5,000 pounds through the desert in the middle of summer, go ahead. That's how we tested it.
This is the new generation of Olds.
I have a headache. I have a bad headache. I can't think. I can't concentrate. I feel pain.
Today, Michael Farbstein is trying extra-strength Tylenol gel caps. For pain like his, why take aspirin or ibuprofen when nothing works better than Tylenol gel caps?
My headache is 100% gone. I feel great. I can think. I can concentrate. I can do what I have to do. Tylenol gel caps really did the job.
Tylenol gel caps, only from Tylenol. For everyday pain, nothing works better.
Wings is moving to Thursday, right after Cheers.
Cheers to Wings.
The best night of television is about to get better on NBC Thursday.
Be sure to be with NBC Sports on New Year's Day for great college bowl excitement. Kick off your day at 1 o'clock Eastern Time with the Hall of Fame Bowl, featuring Big Ten powerhouse Illinois against the tenacious defense of the Clemson Tigers. Down to the Fiesta Bowl, where Louisville takes a 9-1-1 record into a game with Alabama. And then the scene shifts to Miami on New Year's Day night for the Orange Bowl, the national championship game, #1 Colorado against Notre Dame. Jamie Mueller gets a straight-ahead carry as the Bills have not had much success running their wide running game, with Thurman Thomas trying to break it to the outside and then turn it up. Andre Collins, who's in on a lot of plays, the rookie from Penn State, makes yet another stop for Washington.
Well, you certainly think that the Washington Redskins had a lot more yards than the Buffalo Bills. But time of possession, plays run by Washington, clearly dominant to this point.
Mueller's going to get it more, Trump. He's carried 4 times and has gained 21 yards. Mueller again on a counter, and he comes across the 20 on 2nd down and 3. And he appears to have about enough for a first down. He'll be close. Greg Minuski, who went off with the injured shoulder, back in the fray, and he made the stop along with Wilbur Marshall.
This Washington Redskin defense, look what it does. See how wide the defensive ends are? And here's Wilbur Marshall out here, so they almost make you run the ball up in here. Buffalo would prefer to run the ball at the corners, but they don't have any choice. You're running into a lot of big people there when they, just by alignment, that defense funnels you inside.
Bills get a first down. They've not had many as Reich takes a deep drop against the blitz. Lets the ball go deep. Thurman Thomas cannot quite get to it at the 45-yard line of Washington. Alvin Walton with him stride for stride, and Reich about 6 inches long.
He's wiggling his left hand. Frank Reich was there too. You see Walton with the coverage. Thurman Thomas, he doesn't have great speed, but he certainly has good football speed. And that is in the 20, has that burst to go by, but that would have had to be a perfect throw to get it to Thurman Thomas, incomplete.
Thurman Thomas is an extraordinary player. He's got over 1,800 yards from scrimmage this year, rushing and receiving. Now the Bills go to the shotgun on 2nd down and 10. Right, downfield throw, and he hits the wrong side of Andre Reed, and Reich takes a hard shot and goes down. We'll go back now to NFL Live in New York. Bob?
Okay, Don, a scoring spree in Miami after the Dolphins took a 14-7 lead on another Sammy Smith touchdown, this time a 1-yard run. Jeff George slings this one to Jesse Hester, the one-time Raider #1 pick, who is emerging with the Colts. Makes a nice inside move to avoid the last potential tackler. 64-yard touchdown, tied at 14 in the second.
So the Colts staying in it. Ron Myers never had a losing record in the NFL, and he needs a win today to hit 500. He still has an outside shot at the playoff, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
4 teams have to lose, though. He has to win at Miami. All right, on 3rd and 10, up the middle, and Thurman Thomas is on the run. Makes the first down yardage and gets some more. Ahead for a 17-yard gain and a first down for the Bills. They finally hit a big play.
Thurman Thomas, big receiver out of the backfield. Here he is right here, and he runs it against the outside linebacker Collins. Frank Reich this time has one of those rare occasions when he has time to look down the field, makes the completion. So many things that Thurman Thomas can do for this offense. Just like Barry Sanders does for the Detroit Lions, James Brooks does for Cincinnati.
James Now it's all going to the Pro Bowl. Pitch back to Thomas, but there's nothing there except defensive end Fred Stokes, number 60. That banged up defensive line. They did get Rocker 99 back today after his extended absence with an injury. Stokes starting at right end for injured Marcus Cook. Tim Johnson started for Charles Mann at left end.
Don, again, look how wide the defensive end is, and that's the reason the pitch doesn't work. I mean, Washington's doing a good job by alignment to make sure that Buffalo, if they're going to run anywhere, they're going to run inside. Thomas now 5 carries, 0 yards with that loss.
0 is in not any. Loss of 3 there on 2nd and 13. Wright swings it out. Well defended by the 4-time All-Pro Darrell Green.
Boy, is this kid amazing. Told me at practice on Friday that he doesn't watch his opponent. He watches himself. All he worries about is his own technique. And I said, well, what about the difference in size between you and Andre Reed? He said, makes absolutely no difference whatsoever. I'm quick enough to cover anybody. I got the foot speed to cover anybody. This was great coverage by Darrell Green. Almost makes the interception on what I consider one of the classiest receivers the AFC has to offer, Andre Reed.
Darrell Green, he surely has the foot speed you talked about, Trump. Twice he's been the NFL's fastest man. 3rd and 13, all out blitz again, and Wright got some room to run. The race is on. He's got to turn it out, but he'll be cut down short. Gets out to the 46-yard line. Monty Coleman, a 12-year veteran, ran him down.
I don't think Marv Levy wants to see Frank Reich out there running around the way he is. He has no choice. See Stokes 60 on the outside, again with great pressure, but they've already got Jim Kelly on the sideline with a bad knee. This guy's 4-0 as a starter. You want to keep him healthy, and they're driving his helmet into the turf here at RFK. Not something that Marv Levy and the Buffalo Bills coaching staff is comfortable watching.
The Bills are 3 deep in quarterbacks, so they've got another good one on the sideline, Gail Gilbert, who had a sensational preseason. The punt now by Tootin is hit well downfield. Joe Howard fair catches the ball at the 19-yard line. So with 6 minutes and 38 seconds to play in the first half, the Buffalo defense is back out, and the Redskins get the ball again.
Right now, in thousands of comfortable places all across America, it's a friendly, easy time. It's Miller time. At Miller, we've always brewed our beer carefully and responsibly. And that's how we'd like you to drink our beer, carefully and responsibly. So the next time you're having any one of our beers, the next time it's Miller time for you, we'd like to ask you to do one very simple thing. Be responsible. Think when you drink.
My grandfather loves the unknown. I want a sure thing. I drive a new kind of Oldsmobile, the all-new Bravada, perfect for this jungle because it's got Smart Trap, a new anti-lock braking and all-wheel drive system that automatically sends power to the wheel that needs it. So I'm ready for the unexpected, whether I'm traveling across the river and into the trees.
This is the new generation.
Or just visiting your old man in the sea.
Bravada, engineered for the unexpected.
Question: how can Americans save 4.2 million gallons of gasoline a day? By properly inflating your tires. Let's put our energy into saving it.
Got a painful cold? Alka-Seltzer Plus relieves painful cold symptoms some others miss.
Everything feels better, better, better.
Alka-Seltzer Plus cold medicine. Relief for your painful cold.
New Year's Day, the best bowls are on NBC. The Sun-Kissed Fiesta Bowl pits the Crimson Tide of Alabama, the giant killers of the SEC, against the high-flying Louisville Cardinals. Ride the tide at the Sun-Kissed Fiesta Bowl. New Year's Day, NBC is the place to be.
They also serve who paced the sideline, egging their teammates on. Jim Kelly down with a strain of his left knee. He's coming along very well. He's going to start to run and do strength training this week. He can move forward and backwards well. He has a little problem laterally with the left knee. But he expects to be back for the first playoff game, which would be a week from next weekend. The Bills, as divisional champions with the best record in their conference, get the wild card weekend off. Gerald Riggs gets his first carry in a long time for the Redskins. Back off the injury list A tremendous power back. Had over 1,700 yards one year at Atlanta. Over almost 1,500 another.
Don, here is the bread and butter of the Washington Redskins, the counter gap. They run it from all different formations. They get Gerald Riggs to try to get it up through the line of scrimmage here. And frankly, Buffalo is doing a great job shutting this play down. You see Cornelius Bennett really closed down on the hole. There's very little room to run.
End up, and Riggs shows his old burst. He picks his way a little bit, and then boom, takes off with tremendous speed as a marker is down. Riggs, 6'1", 232-pound back in his 9th year from Arizona State.
Now we got a skin down on the field.
Second year with the Redskins. Yeah, there's a Washington Redskin down.
Holding. Number 69 of the offense. Repeat, second down.
That's on Schlereth, and it looks like Gary Clark is the receiver who is down. The pile kind of came up the back of his leg. Yeah, it's interesting, Don. That's the way most of the injuries nowadays seem to happen. It's people coming up from behind. Clark is blocking on the outside, and here comes the whole bunch of them. Twists his leg, but he's up and jogging off, so looks like he's going to be okay.
This is one tough, demanding individual. He demands perfection from himself. Averaging over 15 yards a catch with 75 catches this year, heading back to the Pro Bowl, a 6th-year player from James Madison.
1/3 of the posse with Art Monk and Ricky Sanders.
His intensity is a legend in the Redskin locker room.
Well, I think that follows the tradition of Charlie Taylor, one of the all-time great receivers in the history of the NFL. Another guy with a great intestinal fortitude.
Second down, Rippon backpedals into the pocket, makes the connection with Art Monk. Bills hem him in, take him down at the 20 on a 2nd and 15 play. That'll bring up 3rd and about 8.
I mentioned the posse. The numbers that these guys have put up are just remarkable. Last year they had a lot more catches. They had 3,000-yard receivers, those 3 guys, all 3 of them. Joe Gibbs would prefer to have a 1,000-yard rusher over any 1,000-yard receiver because he likes to run the ball and stop the run. That's the way you get to the playoffs and to the Super Bowl.
Gary Clark now Trump out. Walking off his left knee was bothering. He seems to be a lot better now. As Rippon play fakes, makes the deep drop, and then zings one in between 2 defenders for a first down. On a 3rd and 10 play, he drilled it and hit Joe Howard.
Well, you have to drill it to hit Joe Howard. We're not talking about a big receiver here. He was in between linebacker and safety coverage. Comes across the field. It gets crowded there, but watch how Rippon gets this ball in there. There's Talley on one side. He has got a strong arm. Talking about Mark Rippon. He will fire it in there. It's Hicks, 27, also assists on the tackle. First down, Skins.
Washington continues to lead at 6-0 with 4 minutes to go in the first half on 2 Chip Low-Miller field goals from 37 and 24 yards. Rippon firing on the run. Well done as he gets the ball out to tight end Don Warren out to the 45-yard line. Linebacker Carlton Bailey on the tight end made the tackle, but it's good for 13 and the Skins first down.
Don, Washington does so much with this offense, with the heavy formation, with 3 tight ends. Here is the fake counter gap and the rollout by Rippon. Now, all the linebackers are sitting there looking for the run, and it allows the tight end just a little space to get past those linebackers open for a reception.
Skins with a power set left, and they take it right up the middle. Riggs runs it. Bruce Smith makes the tackle. I was talking at some length yesterday, Trump, with Jeff Rutledge, the backup quarterback for Washington, who used to run the Skins plays for the scout team who's with the Giants. He said they really only have about 2 running plays. Yep. A lot of different looks.
Yeah, formations. You see Bruce Smith there just knifing down the line of scrimmage inside Lachey. He's there to make the tackle. Has yet to get a sack today, but boy, he's certainly been around Mark Rippon all over the place. But you're right, this is a very, very basic offense disguised by a lot of movement before the ball.
Pitch back, play flicker, out pro, and the ball is caught by Riggs.
He touched it twice on that play.
That was a big play by Mark Rippon. He had to make some very interesting reads because the deep people were covered, and he threw a perfect ball to his back, his outlet receiver.
Sanders was the primary receiver. He was covered, but Riggs, watch, he touches the ball twice. He gets it here, gives it to Monk, who gives it to Rippon. I don't know what Washington calls this, but we used to call this the triple pass.
It's good enough. 18-yard gain on the play as the Skins drive on now. Another throw, open man. Ricky Sanders is down to the 9. So as the clock ticks down towards the 2-minute warning, Mark Rippon makes some masterful throws.
That was right in the middle of zone coverage and absolutely on the money as we're at the 2-minute break.
Rippon, who said, "I've got to get hot." And Marv Levy sees Rippon getting hot.
2 minutes.
'Twas right after Christmas, that wonderful time when folks drop their film off where they see the sign. With Color Watch, pictures soon will appear with great color up front and Kodak paper back here. Great memories develop when this seals what you see. Without it, bah, humbug, who knows what there'll be. So bring your film to this seal when the holidays end for happy Color Watch memories again and again.
Interstate Battery Power starts up strong and keeps on going. To find an Interstate Battery dealer near you,
Call 1-800-CRANK-IT. Get the power that goes on and on and on, yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Tots, the premium choice. In these uncertain times, the intelligent investor focuses on current trends, watches the economic indicators, analyzes the various business sectors, developing keen insights before making a single move on Wall Street. On the other hand, the extremely intelligent investor has someone else help him do it. Prudential-based securities, rock solid, market wise.
From behind the offense, we'll watch again. You see the drop zone by Buffalo. Sanders right down the seam. Makes a heck of a catch. Mark Rippon is now 5 of 5 on this drive for 74 yards. And we mentioned at the outset that they needed for Mark Rippon to get hot in the playoffs. He's hot on this drive.
And today on NFL Live, the headlines, Will McDonough reporting that Skins coach Joe Gibbs has reached an agreement on a new contract with the Redskins. Marty Schottenheimer expects to face the Dolphins at Joe Robbie Stadium next weekend in an AFC wildcard game, and Rippon wants a timeout. Mark Rippon has thrown the ball 16 times today. He has completed 11 for 114 yards. So 5 for 5 for 74 yards on this drive. 2 minutes to play in the first half, and the Redskins continue to lead on the 2 Low Miller field goals, 6-0. Mike Ditka undecided on who his starting quarterback will be for next week's wild card game. He didn't get much yesterday from Tom Zach.
Yeah, but I'm not sure you can blame that totally on Tom Zach. That Kansas City defensive backfield, pretty impressive bunch.
Which makes the Warren Moon performance when he threw for 527 yards against him and could have thrown for 700 if they kept him passing, all the more impressive.
Report from the Washington bench is that Gary Clark has a sprained knee and ankle. And the pile fell on him, but he's up and walking around. Better we can say for Leon Seals.
It'll be tough to keep out of there, Gary Clark. First down play, they go to the run, and Ernest Feiner heads towards the end zone. He's shut down at the 2-yard line. Second and goal from the 2. Carlton Bailey, number 54, was on the stop for the Bills. The home field so important for Buffalo in the playoffs. The Bills are 8-0 at home this season.
Here's the reason this play works. Middleton on the kickout block. They pull it anybody and everybody. Here's the defense moving one way. Bam. That's Middleton on Bruce Smith. 87 on 78. Feiner to the 2-yard line, maybe 1-yard line.
What a trade that was for Washington. The Ernest Feiner trade on draft day in '89. They gave up Mike Oliphant, who I think is out of the league, and Feiner's an all-pro runner.
Another timeout.
Got to burn another one. He doesn't like what he sees. They want to be sure they take it in. They've been close so many times.
Yeah, but Don, there's less than 2 minutes to go in the half. There's no reason to keep these timeouts if you've got the wrong play called against the wrong formation. So Rippon makes a very smart move. I noticed that Gerald Riggs is in the game. That's Jim Hannafin, the silver-haired gentleman, the offensive line coach. Charlie Taylor, back to you in the hat on the left. Joe Gibbs talking.
Well, you don't have to look far in that Washington locker room for great receivers. Bobby Mitchell in there yesterday walking around, Charlie Taylor, and then the players who are active. Bobby Mitchell said he thinks this is one of Washington's best teams ever. We just have to get consistent at the QB position. Cincinnati has now taken a 7-0 lead on the Cleveland Browns. New England, a team that can't win at home and can't win on the road and can't think of anywhere else to play, might be having a big day in their last game, Trump, under Rod Rust. If this is his last game.
I think it is. Would that be something? Beating the Giants.
10-10 at the moment at Foxborough. Riggs, not much there on 2nd and goal. He'll try from the 3 on 3rd and goal.
They took a timeout for that play? Goodness. Joe, you can do better than that. You know, you mentioned the consistency of the quarterback here. I think a lot of people have overlooked the fact that Mark Rippon was a redshirt for 2 years. In the professional ranks, you can't be a redshirt, but he was hidden by the Redskins, threw the ball to Jerry Rome for 2 years. He's only started 29 NFL games.
That's what Joe Gibbs was saying yesterday. He's inconsistent because he hasn't been in there enough to be consistent.
Now, this time Buffalo takes a timeout. Eventually, though, I think Mark Rippon will be an outstanding quarterback. He has the strength of arm, and they are really trying to force-feed this offense and experience in there as quick as possible.
That's not going to be a love-in in the Bills locker room at halftime when Coach Levy goes to the board.
I think he knows that the Bills didn't show up today.
But they're still in the game, down just 6-0, although that could change quickly as the Skins are down close. 3rd and goal from the Buffalo 3.
He's yelling and screaming. He's trying to get an official over there so he can talk to him. And most of the time, officials don't listen to head coaches. Referee today is Dale Hamer, and Marv trying to get his attention. Dale's not interested.
Coach Levy can speak of things erudite.
Yes, he can.
Master's degree from Harvard.
Over-officious jerk, he says.
Famous NFL films replay. 3rd and goal. People dancing in, dancing out. No markers up. Here's a throw. Slapped down. I see no penalties. Do you, Trump?
No, I do not. Darryl Talley jumps right up there to knock the ball down. I don't know what that play was designed to be.
I'll tell you, these guys are popping each other now. Looks like a grenade went off at the end of that play with so many guys down.
Talley jumps up in the air, comes right down on his back. What was this play designed to be? 2 Redskin receivers ran into each other. And watch on the left. When Talley jumps up, comes right back down on his back, gets the wind knocked out of him a little bit. That's Raleigh McKenzie, 63, who puts him there. So Lohmiller on again for another field goal attempt.
Lohmiller's hit 2 for 2 and 3 for 3 as the Redskins extend their lead to 9-0. Lohmiller 28 of 38 field goals this season. Now the beloved marching song of the Redskins.
Not a lot of enthusiasm in the Redskin fans today. Would you agree, Don?
Well, the Eagles took a lot of that away yesterday when the Eagles went out to Phoenix and won there to gain home field in the NFC wild card matchup with Washington. Skins playing for pride today, and they've shown a lot of that on the field, taking a 9-0 lead over the 13-2 Bills. Bills haven't been in shouting distance of scoring any points. Kickoff into the end zone, and Al Edwards is counseled by Don Smith to down the ball. Bills start again at their 20.
That was a 78-yard drive, 10 plays for the Washington Redskins. I mean, if you're Buffalo, you got to feel good. You've been totally dominated, accomplished very little offensively, and yet you're only down by 3 field goals. But there just doesn't seem to be the life in Buffalo. You know, they're waiting for that week off. There's Darryl Talley talking to defensive line coach Dickerson.
Well, it's tough to, I guess, get up when everything's decided. After their biggest win in 25 years, their win last week over Miami. Right. Good catch made at the 25-yard line by Thurman Thomas.
Well, they're going with a hurry up here. They told us last night that we would not see the hurry up at the outset of the game. They didn't want to put Frank Reich in jeopardy, but inside 40 seconds to go here, they'll try to get the field goal.
Here's a quick out. It goes to Al Edwards, and he tries to get out of bounds and cannot. He's ahead for a first down as the clock is down to 35 seconds, and the Bills call a timeout. Marv Levy said last night, Trump, we want to show as little as we can because we could both get lucky and end up in Tampa.
Yeah, well, Marv Levy's thinking ahead, and maybe that's his biggest mistake.
His offensive coach, Ted Marchibroda, former Redskin.
You see the zone coverage by the Washington. Martin Mayhew backing up. Edwards with the reception underneath. Going to be allowed by the Redskin defense. This is the deepest you'll see a defense. They want Frank Reich in Tampa playing for the Super Bowl.
Reich said when I'm quarterbacking it, he actually said Jim Kelly, it's Jim Kelly's team. He said when he's in there, he said I'm in there as the Buffalo Bills. I realize he's a franchise player. I'm just part of the whole scenario to try to keep it going until he gets back.
Yeah, I was surprised that he's very comfortable with that. He doesn't mind that reference.
First and 10, a downfield throw to an open James Lofton at the midfield line. He's got a gain of 20 yards and a first down. The time went running out now on the Bills. As you see the game clock, that's the first half game clock, down to 20 seconds. Reich legally grounds the ball to stop the clock with 18 seconds to play.
There's Jim Kelly on the sideline. He'd like to be out there, but here's Lofton again. Zone coverage, Mayhew. Lofton is way outside. They're now running in the NFL a thing called a matchup zone, and as long as you can see the quarterback throw the ball to the guy in your area, you stay with him. Mayhew does, but Lofton's able to make the catch. I think that's Buffalo's biggest pickup of the day so far. They have not produced much offense.
Lofton, a longtime veteran, with his 35th catch of the year. He's averaging over 20 yards a reception at age 34. Reich is 29 years old, 6'4", 210 pounds, an overhand thrower, ready to deliver the ball, and he throws it away. 14 seconds left, maybe 3 plays.
Redskins that time, they rushed 3, dropped 8. Tough for Frank to find somebody open with 8 guys back there in coverage.
The Bills come into this game as the NFL's highest scoring team this season. Just 5 years ago, they were the lowest scoring team. But out of that debacle of 85 came the great Bruce Smith as the #1 pick in the draft.
And they've also not been shut out this year in the way they're going. Shutout looks like a real possibility.
Great draft. Wright came in that draft. Andre Reed, an all-pro receiver, came in that draft. There were others. Swing pass to Thurman Thomas, who started upfield before he had the handle. 10 seconds left. Redskins lead the game 9-0 on free Chip Lohmiller field goals.
Concentration for the Bills just not there today. Just not there. And I think if you're Marv Levy and the coaching staff, when you go into halftime, you can blame your team for that. Look, gentlemen, we realize how tough it is. You got a week off. You're in the playoffs. We got our best chance to go to the Super Bowl because we play at home. But I'm a little upset at your lack of concentration. And there's a clear-cut case by Thurman Thomas.
Let me tell you what you don't want to have to do, though, no matter who you are. Go to Buffalo in January with 80,000 people taking away the snap count with the noise on every down. and try to beat the Bills in the playoff game. It won't happen. I think one team could do it, Pittsburgh, because their defense is so good.
The only way that they can possibly lose, in my estimation, in the AFC tournament is injury.
Well, they've had one today. We don't know how bad it is, but a sprained knee. Starting defensive end, Leon Seals.
I don't think the Redskins had enough guys on the field on that last snap, so Darrell Green calls the timeout.
You can play with too few and not get a flag.
Absolutely. You'd like to play with 11. You can't play with 12.
You are at a disadvantage. Joe Smallwonder Howard stands back, a 4-year starter at Notre Dame in the Jerry Faust era. Tootin's punt bounces in, and with just time runs out in the first half. So the first 2 quarters go decidedly to the Redskins. Bills never close to scoring, as the Redskins take a 9-0 halftime lead. Now let's go to NFL Live in New York and Bob Costas. Bob?
Okay, Don, thanks very much. Right to the scoreboard. Cincinnati wins the AFC Central if they win today, and if Houston beats Pittsburgh tonight, or they're a wild card with a victory and a Seattle loss. They lead at home 14-0 in the rain over the Browns late in the second. In the game you're watching, halftime score 9-0 Skins over the Bills, and the playoff fates of both those teams already set. Atlanta just got a touchdown. They go in front of Dallas. Dallas playing with Babe Laufenberg at quarterback. It's 7-0. If the Cowboys lose, then the Saints can be the last wild card in the NFC if they win tomorrow night at home against the Rams. Minnesota gets a Herschel Walker 9-yard touchdown run, leading San Francisco 10-0 in the second quarter. Joe Montana has played all the way for the 49ers. Giants get a Matt Barr field goal as time expires in the second quarter. At halftime, they're in front at New England only by a score of 13-10. The game is meaningless. The Giants are set for the playoffs. They got the first round bye. New England trying to end their 13-game losing streak as the season draws to a close. And Miami gets a safety when Jeff George intentionally grounds the ball in the end zone, and that's the difference right now. The Dolphins leading the Colts 16-14 late in the second quarter at Joe Robbie Stadium. George has a pair of touchdown passes. Marino has thrown one for the Dolphins, a 53-yarder to Sammy Smith. Smith also has a 1-yard scoring run. And when we come back, we take a look ahead to Tuesday's bowl lineup on NBC. And later today on the postgame show, we'll have all the scores and highlights and their playoff implications. Stay with us.
Daddy, can I have my teddy bear?
Sure, honey. If you take good care of him, he'll take good care of you. Just like when I was growing up, I had an old football that went everywhere with me. I'm Darrell Green of the Washington Redskins, and this is my daughter, Jarrell. I know that every child needs love, a sense of security, especially children who have emotional and physical handicaps. That's why the work of the School for Contemporary Education is so important. Here, children from the national capital area are getting the love and special education they so desperately need. These are children who need special education outside of the regular school setting. As a United Way volunteer, I work with children of all ages to help them learn, to teach them to love one another. When we give our love to them, that love comes back manyfold in many ways. Because the United Way, it brings out the best in all of us.
This message furnished by the National Football League.
Someone's killing cops. Taking roll call on a hit list.
This is a homicide.
A deadly conspiracy.
We've got a few bad cops.
Inside the force.
You gotta look the other way.
Now they've gone too far.
This time they picked on the wrong policewoman.
Angie Dickinson and Charles Durning star in Prime Target on NBC tonight.
Your Dodge dealer announces the Golden Advantage. Get a Caravan equipped with the family value package for under $14,000. That's a Caravan equipped with automatic transmission, air conditioning, power remote side mirrors, intermittent windshield wipers, our famous 770 warranty, and more. The gold standard of minivans, Dodge Caravan shines a little brighter this holiday season. Now get $500 to $1,000 cash back on Caravans in stock.
See your Team Dodge dealer and get the advantage. Advantage Dodge.
Channel 2 congratulates the Buffalo Bills on their third straight AFC East championship.
Welcome back to NFL Live at halftime. Now, this group is headed for the airport in a flight to Miami tonight as we get set for another full day of New Year's college football on NBC. The top-ranked Colorado Buffaloes will play Notre Dame for the second straight year in the Orange Bowl. And we go now to Dick Enberg and Bill Walsh, who will call the game on Tuesday night. For more on that, Dick?
All right, Bob, as you can see, the last-minute touches for the spectacular halftime show are underway here at the Orange Bowl. The theme will be Cole Porter, but the theme and questioning here yesterday at Media Day was directed at both Lou Holtz and the Rocket Ismail of Notre Dame. Would they return to the Irish campus as participants in the football program? First, Lou Holtz, he said that he definitely will finish his career, collegiate coaching career, at Notre Dame, but that leaves an opening.
That's a little overstated, Dick. I'm sure it is. I think he intends to remain at Notre Dame. But he's an adventurous soul. He always has been. And if one of those big deals came up, I'm sure he'd give it real consideration.
One should note that Lou Holtz is working without a contract this year. Offered 5 years a year ago, has not signed that contract. How about the Rocket? Raghib Ismail, the sensational flanker and running back for the Irish. We asked him, will he be in a Notre Dame uniform next season?
I'm not really dwelling on that right now. I'm just trying to focus on the game, and after everything is over, then, you know, I'll take it from there. But as of this point, I'm not thinking about anything like that.
You have not made a definite decision either way? Whom would you consult when it comes time to make that decision?
Well, I have a group of people that are around me that I trust and believe in, and just soul search for myself and then talk to the coaching staff and take it from there. You know, it's nothing else I can really say about it.
Tough decision.
Very.
I don't think there's any doubt he receives an awful lot of pressure from individual, and the pressure and the people are telling him that he should come out, or the people that have something to gain from it. I think it's a decision that Rock and his mother ought to make, and I think the people ought to at least have the decency to let them make that decision.
What do you think is going to happen?
Well, I think it's directly related to the NFL and a salary schedule, Dick. That's the bottom line. The Rocket wants to stay at Notre Dame. He wants to play and maybe get a Heisman, but a salary schedule, as you know, would reduce his income in professional football. So if there are any indications that something be done with the salary schedule, he'll be in the NFL.
We talked to Tim Brown, who won the Heisman at Notre Dame last week, and Brown said, I would advise the Rocket to sign, go into the NFL. He's ready not only because of injury, but because of the possible salary. And reading between the lines, it's obvious that Rocket is considering it, and the most important person in that decision, as Lou Holtz has indicated, will be Mama. Robert, that's the story from the Orange Bowl. We'll see you Tuesday night.
All right, we'll be there. Dick and Bill, our thanks to you. And now, what are your impressions of the possibility of Ismail coming out?
Well, 2 years ago, we started with Barry Sanders, who was in a similar situation, won the Heisman. He said, I will never come out. I promised my mother and my parents I'm going back to school. He came out. Last year was Andre Ware, said, I will never come out. I promised my family and my mother I'm going back. He came out. The pressure will be tremendous. It will be tremendous on the Rocket. My guessing is he will come out, and right now he is the highest-rated football player of any college football player in America. And if it stays that way because he's exciting, he will be the #1 choice in the draft.
And the point that Bill Walsh was making is this. As long as he comes out now, he gets whatever he can negotiate. There's a possibility that somewhere down the line, there'll be an entry-level wage scale where all first-rounders will get such and such, second-rounders, it'll all be predetermined, and then a guy like Rocket, who has gate value as well as football value, couldn't really cash in.
Yeah, well, certainly if there's going to be a wage scale, he will definitely come out. He's like Barry Sanders in that another year of football at Notre Dame is not going to improve this guy. He's ready for pro ball. He's not going to get any better in another year of collegiate ball, and I will really be surprised if he doesn't come out.
Okay, the Fiesta Bowl has seen its share of national title games over the past few years. Not this time. The focus actually this year centers around the controversy surrounding the absence of a holiday honoring Dr. Martin Luther King in the state of Arizona. For more on that, we go to NBC's Gail Gardner. Gail?
All right, Bob, thank you very much. Louisville and Alabama in the Fiesta Bowl. Joining us, Louisville head coach Howard Schnellenberger. You haven't been to a bowl game since 1977, so this is obviously very big to the program. But as Bob mentioned, a lot of controversy surrounding this bowl game, the absence of the holiday for Martin Luther King, paid state holiday. What were some of the thought process that went into your decision to go to this bowl game, to accept the bid?
Well, Gail, it was very, very simple for us because, as you say, we're a developing football team, and our kids have struggled now for 6 years to get this opportunity. And it was simply a matter of going to the finest bowl that we could go to, the Fiesta Bowl, playing against the finest competition, the University of Miami. And our president agreed that we should do that. We could have taken what I call the low road and made one major statement by boycotting and not coming. But I don't think Dr. King would have done that, and our players certainly didn't want to do that.
Yes, I know there's some particular things very quickly you're going to be doing during the game, such as wearing patches on the jerseys, patches on the helmets, and they have little buttons that you've made up. So what is the significance?
Well, this is the official button for our traveling party. It'll be on our helmets, and it's quite different than a black patch. It's a pin representing diversity at our university, and it says "The dream lives on."
Okay, Coach Schnellenberger, thank you so much for being with us. We will see you at the Fiesta Bowl. We will see you, Bob, at the Fiesta Bowl as well on Tuesday. Back to you.
Okay, Gail, yes, we will be looking forward to your reports throughout the day as O.J., Will, Bob Trumpy, and I begin our coverage of Championship Tuesday live from the Orange Bowl at 1 o'clock Eastern Time on NBC. For now, the NFL on NBC continues for Week 17.
A new unsolved mystery explores phone calls from the grave. Did she really die under a phony doctor's knife?
Judy Himes is alive.
Then get the story behind the story of Elvis Presley's prom date and the woman who dumped him. Plus see shocking scenes of a mid-air crash into the Empire State Building. A special 2-hour unsolved mystery. The story behind the story on NBC Wednesday.
It's here. It's hot. The year-end sales spectacular with Golden Advantage rebates. Your Chrysler Plymouth dealers are out to slash their inventories, so they're giving fantastic deals on everything in stock. Plus, $500 Golden Advantage cash back on Plymouth Voyager, America's best-selling minivan. And save $300 on Voyager LE options. But hurry, the sales spectacular ends December 31st.
Watch Ed Kilgore on Channel 2, your 24-hour news station.
Remember this great moment?
Well, dude. Oh!
It's in!
Well, there's many more to come in 91 on NBC Sports.
And here comes Michael Jordan. Twisted and hit it!
The NBA regular season, the All-Star game, the playoffs, and the NBA Finals.
And here's Bo Jackson around the corner and down the sideline, and there he goes!
The raw excitement of the NFL.
It's a reverse. The run is nailed, and he might go all the way.
The history and emotion of Notre Dame football. The grace and athletic artistry of the World Figure Skating Championships. The tension and drama of the PGA Tour. The best events leading up to the '92 Olympics on NBC, featuring the World Track and Field Championships this summer. And the crown jewels of tennis's Grand Slam, the French Open, and Wimbledon. Now and through the 90s, NBC is truly the place to be.
At the half, the Washington Redskins hold to a 9-0 lead over Buffalo. Joe Gibbs, the Washington coach, says the long season is an emotional marathon with the last 5 miles uphill. And the emotion, Trump, got a little harder for both Gibbs and his counterpart, Marv Levy, with the injuries.
Yeah, I think it's interesting to note that the first time we saw Gibbs on Friday and Marv Levy last night, first thing out of their mouths, stay healthy. We're both in the playoffs, and wouldn't you know it, a very important member of the Buffalo Bills defense on this play, 96, watch the left knee hyperextended. Word is it's sprained. At least they took him to the sideline, see if they could get the thing oiled up. When Leon tried to get up and walk around, very, very painful. And at the end of the first half, he was not on the bench, Don. He was already in the Buffalo Bills locker room. And then for the Washington Redskins, Gary Clark doing his job, and the pile gets him. He has a sprained knee and ankle. So 2 starting very important players for each team are injured here. Don't know if Clark will be back, as they were trying to tape his ankle, see how serious the injury was. But I mean, this is the worst possible scenario for both these teams.
The first half stats reflect a low-scoring game. No points at all for Buffalo, and only 6 first downs for the Bills. Their turnovers early were a problem for Buffalo, that they were stripped. Washington could have had a much bigger lead. They went on 4th and 1 instead of kicking a field goal, didn't get there, and then they were down at the headed 2nd and goal at the 3 and had to end up with a field goal.
Here's an important stat, too, that's not listed up there. The Buffalo Bills were 2 of 7 in third down conversions. The Washington Redskins, 3 of 8. Both these teams are extraordinary at converting third downs to first downs, so that's a big part of each team's problems in the first half.
Joe Gibbs completing his 10th year as the head Redskin. And he'll be back, as reported today on NFL Live, for many more, and so will Marv Levy at Buffalo. In his 4th full year as head coach of the Bills. Best yet, 3 straight divisional championships. Marker goes down as the kickoff is out of bounds. So it'll come out to the 35-yard line, 1st and 10. Bills off next week, then they'll host the winner of a first-round wild card game. The worst record will go to Orchard Park to play the Bills, and good luck to whoever that is. Redskins play at Philadelphia in a first-round wild card game next week. Date not decided yet. This season, the Skins and the Eagles split. Washington won here at RFK, Eagles won at home. Boss Hog Joe Bugle tried to help out the Redskins by beating the Eagles, but Cardinals came up short. Downfield throw, and a nice hard hit on Art Monk separates him from the ball. Clifford Hicks, number 27, made the play.
I noticed that Gerald Riggs is in the backfield for the Redskins. First half, the Redskins, they got a couple of turnovers, but could only produce the 3 field goals. He pretty much went up and down the field, had a couple of big plays, but the injury to Gary Clark, I think, is a major concern, although he's out there. No, he's not. He's not out there playing.
2nd down and 10. To the power game go the Redskins, and Gerald Riggs drives into the right side. He's out to the 38-yard line. Darrell Talley, 56, made the stop. Cornelius Bennett, Shane Conlon, Ray Bentley, and Darrell Talley backing the line for the Bills. Mark Pike, Jeff Wright, and Bruce Smith up front.
There's Gary Clark on the sideline. Just got his shoes spatted up. We're going to try it in the second half. This crowd kind of reflects the play of the two teams. Not really quite in it all the way today, are they?
Eagle win at Phoenix yesterday took the emotion out of this. They were loud early before the Skins went in front, 9-0 where it stands now. Rippin, hard throw to the wrong guy. Intercepted ball by Leonard Smith. So Rippin now with 9 interceptions in his last 4 games. That was his first today.
Ricky Sanders was the intended receiver, and Sanders stopped on the play, Don. Everybody is booing Mark Rippin, but the quarterback and the receiver 18 yards away have to be on the same page communications. You see, Sanders stops. He sees Carlton Bailey, 54, on the inside. Rippin thought he was going to continue. You're not going to know until they look at the game films and get the entire read of the defense who was right, but the quarterback always gets booed for those.
Dallas can win a playoff spot, having a problem today losing at Atlanta 14-0. Cowboys without injured Troy Aikman. Here's a handoff, and the Bills go to a rookie, Harwell Gardner, a 2nd-round draft choice from Louisville. Missed the whole summer, and they now have Gail Gilbert in at quarterback. He played well in the preseason, but he's not played in an NFL regular season game in some years.
Yeah, since 1986, and he was with the Seattle Seahawks, and I think this is a great concession by Marv Levy. Frank Reich is going to maybe their quarterback in 2 weeks. Let's not get him hurt. And the Redskins have been all over him today. Probably a tough choice whether you leave him there on the bench or put him back in the game.
Gilbert might get this team going. He can throw it. He hits McKellar, and he's ahead for a first down. McKellar, a 9th-round draft choice out of McNeese. With the ability to run deep, the middle linebacker, Kurt Govea, made the play on him, but there's a gain downfield of 14 yards.
Play action fake by Buffalo. You see McKellar coming across. Govea just doesn't have the foot speed to keep up with him, but taking the angle, he does get him down. Tight end has been open today. That's his 3rd catch for 44 yards on the day. Well, one thing about these Buffalo quarterbacks, all 3 of them are big guys, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And the strongest arm of all belongs to the man who's in there now, Gail Gilbert. Whoop, lost the handle to Kenneth Davis, number 23. So the Bills are set back on their side of the 50 with 2nd and long yardage coming up. It'll be 2nd and about 9. Govea was quickly on Kenneth Davis, who's played very well this season for the Bills.
You see Davis kind of taking his eyes off the ball. He didn't really put it away. Well, they're just not the attitude that they had last week. Thomas on the sideline told us last evening he has a little bonus clause in his contract if he leads the conference in rushing. Didn't want to mention how much it was, but he said a little less than $100,000, so
worth running. He was carrying a lot in the first half, probably won't. Gilbert lofts the ball for Andre Reed. He is fouled on the play, and here comes the flag. Blatant. The official right on top of it never threw anything, and official came from way off and threw it.
That was Darrell Green.
Blatant.
Darrell saying, "Who, me?
Tackle him before the ball got there."
When both are looking back at the football, they allow what's called incidental contact.
Not when your arm's wrapped around him, though.
Agreed. You can see that Green is right there. Andre Reed kind of stops a little bit, but there's the hold, right hand.
Interference of the defense, number 28, first down.
You can bump him. You can't grab him.
He bumped him and he grabbed him, so Darrell Green called for a rare infraction.
There's Kurt Gouveia putting Gail Gilbert to the turf. No harm.
Kurt Gouveia should like quarterbacks. He was a standout as a quarterback in Hawaii. High school quarterback. Pitch back to Davis. Skins doing a terrific job stringing out the run. Andre Collins and Greg Minuski string it out along with Darrell Green.
Well, I'm telling you, this defense is a very difficult defense to run on the corner. That's one of the reasons I think they got this good foot speed at Wilbur Marshall on one side and 55 Andre Collins on the other. They just see how wide that right side is, and they get upfield immediately. You could see 55 Collins get upfield immediately so that Davis has no place to run. If Buffalo's going to get any positive rushing yardage, it'll be up the middle as Richie Pettibone looks on.
Defensive coordinator. He was a starter for the Bears in the championship year at Chicago in '63. And here's the blitz. Markers down all over. Andre Collins coming on a blitz. If he's credited with the sack, it'll be his 7th of the year. So rookie linebacker. But the Skins left early. Bills get the play over, and instead of 2nd and 10, it'll be 2nd and 5. Dale Hammer.
Number 55 of the defense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
Oh, that's why he got the sack, huh? He was offsides.
At that run and start. He's one of 19 children, number 55, Andre Collins.
Well, I think if you're one of 19, you're allowed to leave early. You know,
to get a running start for the table.
Absolutely.
12 sisters and 6 brothers. Second and 6. Gilbert lofts it into the end zone. Nobody is there but Alvin Walton, and he can't get to it.
And McKellar ran inside. Gilbert threw it outside. He also made another major mistake. Did you see him kind of loft that ball, floated in the end zone? Well, when you throw it to the end zone from this distance, 15-yard line, 13-yard line, fire that sucker in there. Don't hang it up. He tries a finesse pass here. It's to the left. He puts a little loft on it. You don't want that to happen unless you're throwing it out of bounds. And even if you're thrown out of bounds, just fire it up there about 12 rows.
Third down. Gilbert timing throw. Kenneth Davis. Touchdown, Buffalo. So Gilbert, after making a mistake, makes a perfect throw, and the Bills are right back in the game, down 9-6 with the extra point coming up.
That was A.J. Johnson in coverage, and that's Davis's first touchdown reception and Gail Gilbert's first touchdown throw as a Buffalo Bill. Excellent pattern. They call this the fade pattern, and Johnson just can't make up the ground. Bowles 23 on the safety. Is the safety trying to get out there? Well thrown. Jim Kelly. Yeah. Don't tear up your knee again there, Jim. How about that?
Norwood now at the extra point try for the Bills. Hits it up and good. And with 11:01 to play in the third quarter, the Bills finally get off the schneid and get on the board. They'll kick it off trailing 9-7.
No matter where you look, there's Mazda. We're introducing new products like the Miata, setting new sales records, winning the respect of the automotive press, and winning awards for both quality and customer satisfaction. But most important, we're making thousands of people feel just right.
You've heard all about cold relief. Now you're going to hear about hot relief. New Tylenol Cold and Flu, with more medicine than any other hot liquid flu formula. Heat releases the power of this lemony medicine, with 3 cold and flu fighters for your coughing, sneezing, and congestion, plus Tylenol pain reliever for your fever, sore throat, aches, and pains. New Tylenol Cold and Flu, part of Tylenol's complete cold relief line. Nobody cares for your cold like Tylenol Cold.
When you rent from Hertz in Florida, you get more than a great car at a great rate. The real bargain is the company behind the car. Because whatever it takes to make your vacation go smoothly, Hertz is there to make it happen. From emergency road service that's as close as a phone to free unlimited mileage, wherever you roam. Next time you're in Florida, wouldn't you feel better with Hertz behind you?
Hertz, we're America's wheels.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Mazda Cars and Trucks. Mazda, it just feels right. By McDonald's. You know the one. It's McDonald's for food, folks, and fun. By TWA, the only airline that lets you fly business class for the price of coach. And by Tylenol Cold. Nobody cares for your cold like Tylenol Cold.
Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy back at RFK Stadium, where the Buffalo Bills have just scored on a Gail Gilbert touchdown throw. He hit a running back coming out of the backfield, Kenneth Davis. Now Norwood kicks off. Stephen Hobbs runs it back. Blasted. Mark Pike, number 94, hit him head on.
Here we go back to the touchdown pass. Interesting formation. This is Andre Reed with Darrell Green in coverage, man-to-man. And here's Kenneth Davis out here, and he gets A.J. Johnson. Now, Bowles is supposed to come over and help, but Davis just runs the pattern, and they really kind of outflank him with this formation. They got a safety out there in coverage. You see the confusion by the Redskins, and Gilbert puts the ball perfectly between the corner and the safety. Actually, it's 2 safeties. Bowles and Johnson are both safeties.
Ripping on the give and running with the ball is Gerald Riggs. Joe Gibbs said he wants to get Riggs a lot of work today if his foot is up to it. He had a sprained arch because he doesn't want to go into the playoffs with a guy that's had very little work.
Yeah, this Redskins team has got 1,000-yard rushers all over the place. Riggs, James Wilder, Ernest Biner. They got him everywhere.
Well, only one this year, Ernest Biner.
Yes, but Riggs with Atlanta had over 1,000 yards several seasons. Wilder at Tampa.
Riggs picks his way and then shows that first they talk about and gets ahead for what appears to be very close to a first down. He might be just short of it. Tackle on the play was made by inside backer Shane Conlon and by cornerback James Williams.
Now, did you see the tight end trap there? Well, they're doing Washington's doing a lot of this. We've seen Middleton in several instances one time get the nose tackle. This time he gets Bruce Smith. He got Bruce Smith on the play. Long trap.
3rd and 1. Rippon calls his own number and gets there. Running on a slant behind Schlereth and Jacoby and Bostic. A first down for the Redskins, whose lead has been cut from 9-0 at halftime to 9-7 over Buffalo. 9:28 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Watch this play before that one. Watch Middleton come down here on Bruce Smith as he comes across. It's a low block, too, and Bruce Smith gets up complaining. This is an awful long pull. He's going right at his knees. After this play is over, he turns to the official and says, "Come on, keep him away from my legs, will you?"
And a continuing problem for Smith as he busts on through again, forces Rippon into a quick throw. It's good for some yardage, not much. If the ball is spotted, it'll be a gain of less than 3. Art Monk caught the ball, and Leonard Smith made the tackle as we check the Hertz 10-minute ticker. Bengals up on the Browns by 7. Atlanta up on Dallas by 14. Minnesota continues to lead the 49ers. Giants holding to a 13-10 lead over the Patriots. And Miami up by 2 on Indianapolis after the game was tied. Dolphins got a safety. Gary Clark Trump is back out there. So the foot and knee apparently all right. He's the lowest man on your screen. Second down and 6. Big power backs for the Redskins. When it seems there's no place to go, they find some place.
You know, Don, there is something positive here by Buffalo that I think is going to hurt the Washington Redskins. Buffalo, with their defensive alignment, has really shut down the counter gap series that Washington has featured throughout the years under Joe Gibbs. Walt Corey's design, they're really stacking people at the corner. And this may be the best job I've seen of any defense shutting down the counter gap. Washington's basically gone away from it.
3rd and 2. Rippon going to put it up. Here's a blitz. They pick it up nicely, and he drills the ball in that Ricky Sanders catches for a Redskin first down at the 49-yard line.
And they beat the blitz. But to continue my point on the counter gap, other people that the Redskins play, maybe even Philadelphia, next week, can look at this game film and try to dissect the defensive game plan of Walt Corey and maybe utilize that as a way of stopping the counter gap, because there's Leon Seals in street clothes on the sideline. Ice bag on the knee. Can we see? No, nothing on it.
And the look on his face appeared to be not too bad a prognosis, although you don't know. A sprained knee was the early diagnosis of Leon Seals in the second quarter. Marker down as Cornelius Bennett makes the hit on the quarterback, Rippon, just as he releases the ball. We'll see if Cornelius left early. Call against the Redskins with 6:52 to go in the third quarter, and the Skins leading the Bills 9-7.
I think they got Art Monk for turning up the field too early.
Atlanta has now extended its lead over Dallas to 16-0. So New Orleans would get the final NFC playoff spot if they beat the Rams.
Illegal formation. Not enough men on the line. Penalty is declined. Second down.
The one problem, as you know, Trump, the Bills had earlier in the season was stopping the run. They had a lot of difficulty. But now they grade out as the number 8 defense overall in the 28-team NFL. Bills are number 6 on offense. Skins, with their power running game, are the 4th-rated total offense team in the NFL. Right near the top, they rate 14th in defense. Rippon on 2nd and 10. Nice timing throw to Art Monk on the run with the first down yardage and then some more. He's down to the 24-yard line.
He's the one receiver who has been consistently open today for Washington. Art Monk. He's the guy who comes in motion, and the coverage by Hicks is just not good enough. There you see Hicks go by. That's Monk in motion. He runs the crossing pattern. They run a lot of things pass-wise. That's a 25-yard catch and run by Art Monk.
Art Monk, the NFL single-season receiving leader. He had 106 catches in 84. That's the record. As the Skins go back to the power run on first down. Today, Art's caught 6 for 61 yards. Gerald Riggs with the run. So Art Monk is up to 68 for the season. Cleveland has now tied Cincinnati.
14-14. Monk has been one of the most consistent pass receivers in the league, not just for Washington, in the league throughout his career. And another one of those dedicated receivers you were talking about earlier, like Gary Clark.
Gerald Riggs looking for room, and there's not much there as Mark Pike, in for the injured Leon Seals at left end, made the tackle. 94 Pike, a 4th-year player from Georgia Tech.
The stadium is usually crazy. People stand for the entire game. This is one of the few outside stadia in the league where incoming teams have to worry about getting the signals off. But boy, today, enjoying the spring-like weather. They've got the fever.
Temperature at kickoff was 68 degrees here in D.C. Rippon, deep drop, gets some time, and now he throws, and it's broken up, but a marker comes in. Gary Clark was the intended receiver, and the rookie James Williams, number 31, might be called for the foul.
Offense. Clark. There's Gary Clark with Williams in coverage. Well, they're not calling it on him. I think they're calling it on 30, Brian Mitchell. Mitchell was running the clearing route.
Illegal pick, huh?
Could be. Could be. They don't call that often, though.
Pass interference. What number? 30 of the offense. 10-yard penalty. Third down.
Yeah, he was running the clearing route. And he made contact with the safety.
He's been a good player, Brian Mitchell, a rookie. Was a quarterback in college. They saw him at one of the combines where they worked players out. And he was just running pass patterns to loosen up. This guy really looked good. He did play some quarterback this year in that Monday night game at Philadelphia when the Eagles knocked two Skins quarterbacks out, Humphreys and Rutledge. Brian Mitchell came in to finish up.
And he was an option quarterback in college. So the transition to running back has been so easy for him.
Rippon stands in to the end zone. Incomplete. That looked like a Buffalo foul on Art Monk. But no flag.
James Williams got away with one. Absolutely got away with one right at the end of the play. Here's Monk running the go pattern, and then he stops, and look at the arm there by Williams. Ball was way overthrown, and maybe that's why the flag was not dropped. But Lohmiller in now for another field goal attempt.
He's hit 3 of 3 from 24, 37, and 17 yards out. This will be a long one, a 43-yarder. Plenty of distance, and Chip Lohmiller is good again. 4 minutes and 25 seconds to play in the third quarter, and the Redskins, their lead challenge now extended again to 12-7.
This lady came in the other day. Some station downtown told her she needed new brakes and said it'd take 4 days. But you know, she only has the one car, and she had to get to work, and missing one night of TV wasn't going to hurt me. So I told her, sure, I'd stay and get it done.
Good service is why people choose a place like Harlan Motors, and why places like Harlan Motors choose USF&G Insurance and their independent agents.
USF&G, standing behind me.
The boss in the family will be glad to know the 91 Mazda 626LX comes standard with an AM/FM cassette stereo, power windows and locks, power remote mirrors. And right now you can save up to $820 on an LX value pack with air conditioning, moonroof, and an anti-theft alarm. Plus factory-to-dealer incentives that can save you hundreds more. You're welcome to Mazda 626.
It just feels right.
Soldier Field, Chicago. Over 300 dead batteries and one die-hard battery. Our most powerful ever jump-starts every one. Die-hard. More power when you need it most.
New Year's, marked by time, remembrance, and that traditional toast with Alka-Seltzer. Fast relief of heartburn with a headache from bidding the year too fond a farewell. Alka-Seltzer, the other holiday tradition.
NBC Sports kicks off a new year with a Hall of Fame Bowl as Clemson battles Illinois. Then Louisville takes on Alabama in the Fiesta Bowl. And it's a primetime showdown of the Orange Bowl as #1 Colorado battles Notre Dame to decide the national championship. New Year's Day, NBC is the place to be.
Our fourth field goal by Chip Lohmiller of the Washington Redskins has extended the Skins lead to 12-7 now over Buffalo. Kickoff goes downfield, and Al Edwards picks it up on the one hop after one. Hits the gap and breaks it, and then gets out to the 27-yard line as those Skins came down hunting the ball. Almost knocked it free. So Gail Gilbert, who got the Bills in the end zone his last time out, comes out again.
He stirs in the land of dawning. He stirs now in the age of wandering. Now on the trail of beauty, he stirs.
Introducing the new Navajo from Mazda. Motor Trend's 1991 Truck of the Year.
It just feels right.
Killing cops. A deadly conspiracy inside the force.
You gotta look the other way.
Goes too far. Angie Dickinson is the next prime target. NBC tonight.
Reich and Kelly going over some of the fine points of quarterbacking.
Yeah, look how much taller Frank Reich is than Jim Kelly.
And Kelly's almost 6'4".
Yeah, and Jim Kelly's considered a big quarterback. And Gilbert's right up there with both of them. These are big guys at the position of quarterback. Those guys used to be linebackers in the NFL.
Reich's got to be 6'5". First down and 10 for the Bills. Gilbert hands off. Carwell Gardner from Louisville hammers in hard, doesn't get very far. It'll be second down and 9. Now let's go to NFL Live as they start up after the play. We'll hold on that move to NFL Live till we check this out. A marker came in. Tim Johnson, number 78, was the man who hit Gardner head on.
Well, he's saying it's against Buffalo.
He held out this preseason, Tim Johnson, with the Steelers, and Chuck Noll traded him for draft choice.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on number 35. He's been ejected from the game.
Oh, goodness. That must be punch thrown then. Tracy Rocker has a... Oh, yeah. Tracy Rocker has a hold of Carwell Gardner's foot, and then he just stamps right on his face. Let's not lose our composure here, gentlemen.
There's that helmet like a papoose.
Yeah, that's a neck brace so that your head doesn't go back. That's not a convenience back to that little strap, but here's a rookie trying to get a chance to show his coaches what he can do. That was a pretty dumb move by Carwell Gardner. He could have carried the ball 8, 10, 12 times for the last 20 minutes of the game. Watch his free foot. Just stamps right on Rocker's head. Yeah, that's a good reason to throw him out.
Definitely not within the bounds of propriety.
And also against the rules.
What's that? Tell me about this helmet thing he's got on here.
It's a device to keep your head from going down too far. It's attached to your shoulder pads, and so that your head is not extended down too far, which is where you tend to get neck injuries. That's a new brace that a lot of people are wearing. It's kind of a little bit of insurance against a neck injury. Jim Richer wears one.
Yeah. If you were tough enough, your ears could take the beating. You could flip that thing right out your hands, I guess.
You wouldn't want to.
Long after the down had ended, it's second down. Second down.
Bills have the ball, but deep in their own end after a 15-yard personal foul call. The Bills, points in their last possession, but now the long field to go. Second and 24 from their 14-yard line. Gilbert gets time and makes the connection to McKellar. He's ahead for a gain of 23 yards.
Oh, what a player this kid
24.
Is. What a player this kid is.
First down. Both of them are players.
Again, they line him up out wide. As you see, Todd Bowles limping. He's just like a wide receiver, and they're giving him a big cushion That's Brad Edwards on the inside. Great concentration on the football. Gilbert puts it right on the money. And brings up 2nd down and inches. And Bowles limping off to the sideline. He too a starter. They don't need an injury in their defensive backfield now.
Alvin Walton went out with a tight hamstring. He's back in though. I don't think he got the 1st down. Nope, the mark didn't go his way. The original spot was ahead of that. Apparently his knee was down back, but the Bills now have 2nd down and inches after having 1st down and 24.
McKellar's the biggest receiver out there for Gail Gilbert. Why not throw it to him? He's the easy guy to find. And Buffalo historically has not thrown the ball to the tight end, but that's his 4th catch for 68 yards on the day.
59 and 74.
They got extra offensive linemen in here as tight ends, Don.
Third and short. Don Smith gets the handoff, goes over the top, and the Redskins get him. Raven Caldwell, number 50, a linebacker from Arkansas. With good speed and anticipation, he timed the hit.
Should be coming right at you.
Great second look.
Yeah, Caldwell stays up. You see Alvin Walton there also taking on the wingback.
Our producer today for NBC Sports is Terry Ewert. Our director, Andy Rosenberg. Executive producer, Terry O'Neill. We're coming to you from RFK Stadium in Washington. 3:08 to go in the 3rd quarter. The Redskins led at halftime. They got there. 9-0. Now they lead 12-7.
That was a very generous mark for the 1st down.
Don Beebe, outstanding young receiver, went down with a fractured leg last week. So McKellar's been playing a lot of wide receiver. He's flexed out to the left now. And he's been getting deep. That's McKellar to the lower right-hand portion of your screen. Again, running a deep pattern. Gilbert's looking at him, but Gilbert goes down. Tracy Rocker.
Tracy Rocker's been impressive today. I think that's his 2nd sack. He's at the top of the screen. No, he's playing defensive tackle. He beats John Davis to get the sack. Right over 65. 3rd sack for the Redskins. 2nd for Tracy Rocker. Impressive.
2nd and 19. The Bills go to the run, and the Redskins are raiding. Fred Stokes. Number 60, reading it all the way.
Fans here have been a little reluctant to cheer. Normally this place is seething.
There they are. The days of swine and roses, as they say here at RFK.
Certainly all 3 of those are on Mr. Blackwell's list. Wouldn't you agree?
Third and 18. Gilbert gets some time. Lets it go. A long arm. A man is out there, but so is the defense, and it's broken up. Nicely done by an ex-Bill, Martin Mayhew.
I'm not sure Gail Gilbert can throw it any further, but good prevent coverage that time by the Washington Redskins. They weren't going to let anybody get past them.
Martin Mayhew was picked up as a Plan B free agent. He has 6 interceptions this year. Ryan Mitchell tries to run the punt back and gets it close to the 45-yard line. Adam Linger was down there along with Tasker. Redskins go on offense when we come back.
I want to fly in business class. My company only pays for coach.
So I fly business class for the price of coach. It's called beating the system. Of course, you can't do it on just any airline.
On TWA, when you buy an unrestricted domestic coach ticket, you can reserve a confirmed seat in our business class for the price of coach.
You pay for coach, you sit in business class, and it isn't even your birthday.
TWA's business class. We did it first, we do it better.
While few race cars are lucky enough to even see the finish line, the rotary-powered Mazda RX-7 has won more races than any other car in IMSA history. The Mazda RX-7.
New Cherry Pepto-Bismol.
This is no night for weak batteries.
Got enough energy to pull us through, Rudolph?
That's why you should test all your batteries with a new copper top tester. A little present. Only from Duracell.
The best bowls are on NBC as the Fighting Illini of Illinois battle the Clemson Tigers at the Hall of Fame Bowl. New Year's Day, NBC is the place to be.
Top of the screen, Al Edwards. He runs the fly pattern. Watch this little move. Mayhew doesn't bite. Excellent coverage by Mayhew. Able to get his hand on it, knock it down. Well, the Bills have to punt. They've not been very successful throwing to the wide receivers today, Buffalo.
Not at all. Redskins now go to the run. Riggs getting some work. Hours ahead for 3 tough yards. Brought down by Carlton Bailey as we swing on back to New York and NFL Live. Bob?
Down 14-0 at the half. The underdog Browns rally back at Cincinnati. 2 third-quarter touchdowns. Brian Brennan wide open. Mike Pagel zips it to him. Now this game is tied at 14 apiece. And if Cincinnati loses, they're a huge favorite. But if they lose, they're out completely. No wild card, no division title.
What about that?
Anytime Cincinnati plays Cleveland, records mean nothing.
Riggs runs on a second down carry. He's ahead for 7 yards and a first down. As we check the Hertz 10-minute ticker. With 28 seconds to go in the third quarter. Atlanta still in command of the Cowboys. 49ers just showing up. That's all they had to do today. They're ready to roll in the playoffs. Giants continue to lead New England by a narrow margin. Miami, a big favorite, just up by a safety, 16-14 over the Colts at Joe Robbie Stadium. Dolphins will be home to meet a wild card team next weekend. That'll do it for 3 quarters of play here at RFK. So the Bills get closer, but the Skins still lead it now 12-7. We'll be back after these messages from your local station.
Learn about Elvis Presley's prom date and the woman who dumped him, plus shocking scenes from a mid-air crash into the Empire State Building on an all-new Story Behind the Story on NBC Wednesday.
You're watching WGRZ, TV2, Buffalo, New York.
If it's out there, it's in here. The 9X Yellow Pages. Why would anyone need another?
Season's greetings. North Star Bank.
It's here. It's hot. The year-end sales spectacular with Golden Advantage rebates. Your Chrysler Plymouth dealers are out to slash their inventories, so they're giving fantastic deals on everything in stock. Plus, $500 Golden Advantage cash back on Plymouth Voyager, America's best-selling minivan. And save $300 on Voyager LE options. But hurry, the sales spectacular ends December 31st.
Watch West Go Forth on Channel 2, your 24-hour news station.
We're going to show you momentarily, and there he is to the right, former owner of the Los Angeles Lakers.
Understand it. This takes a Golden Grave invitation to get into that box. I mean,
there was a big article this morning in the Washington Post with Jack in the box.
You are in if you are in that box.
There's a commissioner down at the far end. Second and 6. To the run they go, and Riggs breaks it. He's got some first down yardage to the 24. Shane Conlon finally brought him down, but Gerald Riggs back off the injury list, looking good.
Excellent job here by Gerald Riggs. They try to run to the right, but you can see Riggs when he sees all the mess here. This is the lead block, and everybody's just pushing down the field, but Riggs runs that belly and comes all the way back over here. This is an excellent job of reading the defense by Gerald Riggs. Again, Middleton on that tight end trap. That's his 12th carry now, 57 yards after being out for almost 8-9 weeks with an injury.
So the Eagles have to get ready for a 1-2 punch. Biner and Riggs both ready to go. Riggs again down to the 21-yard line. Just his second year with Washington. He was acquired in a trade with Atlanta a year ago. There's the commissioner to the right, Paul Tagliabue.
I'll tell you one thing about Gerald Riggs. Tough to tire that guy out. He was in Atlanta. He carried 350 times a season.
Commish checking out the popcorn up there.
Probably flown in, imported popcorn, you know. You don't go for local stuff in that box.
The toughest ticket has been over the years. Skins are it in D.C. Riggs tries to go outside. A good linebacker play made by Marcus Patton, number 53. Rookie from UCLA. Back to NFL Live. Bob?
All right, Don, big play early fourth quarter at Joe Robbie. Jeff Cross on the pass rush for the Dolphins, knocks the ball out of the hands of Jeff George. Brian Sauché picks it up, and Sauché sachets 13 yards for the touchdown. Breathing room for the Dolphins, 23-14.
Thank you, Bob. The Dolphins and other teams come very tough to beat coming off a loss. They had a very disheartening loss last week at Buffalo. Ramifications huge. Rippon fires and gets the ball down to the 14-yard line. 2 yards short of a first down. Ron Middleton was blocking well on the play, and Brian Mitchell came out of the backfield and caught the ball.
Shane Conlon was the man in coverage, and Rippon does a very smart thing here. Because he's thrown a lot of interceptions of late, watch how he throws his ball low. Mitchell goes down to get it. Make sure that there's no interception anywhere, but it's fourth down, so Lohmiller on again for another field goal attempt.
Talking about Miami last week, had the Dolphins beaten the Bills, the Dolphins would have been on the home field for the AFC playoffs, and they would never have left the state of Florida if they got to the Super Bowl. They just have to move up to Tampa. The field goal hit by Lohmiller, and he drives it through again. He's a third-year player from Minnesota, drafted in the second round. Fifth field goal of the game. 5 for 5, an 8-point lead for the Skins.
The engineers at Acura have made a remarkable discovery. A truly extraordinary car is like a truly extraordinary journey. To achieve it, you have to get off the beaten path. The 1991 Acura Integra.
Okay, everybody, listen up.
27 million Americans are illiterate. Albert Davis was one of them.
My dear family, for all these years, I have wanted to write about what you mean to me, but I could not write.
Look for this Coors Light display. Learn how you can help. Teach someone to read.
Today, I can read.
The product. The proving grounds. The results. STP gas treatment is the edge.
This is how easy it is to collate a mailing on an IBM laser printer. And how easy is it to collate with our major competitor? Probably now isn't the best time to ask. IBM laser printers. Suddenly, nothing else measures up.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Acura Automobiles. Experience precision-crafted performance. By Ultra Slim Fast, a delicious, healthy way to lose weight. By First Brands Corporation, makers of Prestone Advanced Formula Antifreeze and STP gas treatment. And by Coors Light, the one that won't slow you down. The Silver Bullet is the right beer now.
Miller, after his 5th field goal in as many tries, kicks off again for the Skins. Here come the Bills. Al Edwards on the fly, and he is stopped abruptly at the 19-yard line.
Easy, fellas, easy.
Participants in ill humor here.
Yeah, that's almost like a preseason game, you know. After that last field goal, Joe Gibbs, he's wishing and hoping that thing goes through. Yes. And for Marv Levy, that 8-point lead now for the Washington Redskins. Not good.
11:25 to play in the game. Bills trailing 15-7. Kenneth Davis with some sidestepping moves takes it across the 20-yard line out to the 24. A gain of 4 yards on the play. Wilbur Marshall, number 58, who was a key player in the Bears championship season of '85. For his trade to Washington, made the stop.
Here's Buffalo's counter gap. You see them doing it. Washington's tried to do this. Haven't had much success, but here Buffalo gets a little yardage with it, not a lot. You see the down blocks, which are the gap blocks on one side, the counter blocks on the other. Davis fights up through there for a few yards.
Jim Hannafin was saying yesterday we want to get a double team at the point of attack and blast somebody right out of there. Here's a throw and a catch out to the 30-yard line. Appears to be good for a first down. Pete Metzlars makes his first catch of the day, just his 9th of the season. Gove and Caldwell, a pair of linebackers on this tackle for Washington.
You look at Metzlars, who's another former basketball player out of college.
A real good one.
You mentioned Hannafin talking about the type of football. All the coaches of the Redskins that you talk to, they all talk about the kind of football we play is knock 'em down football. No pretenses whatsoever. Just knock them down, get them out of the way, run over them, beat them up. That's all they talk about at the Washington Redskins camp.
Well, there's a knockdown by Tracy Rocker, but also a penalty marker down.
Yeah, that's against Washington. Offsides defense.
Offside, number 58 of the defense, 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
That's Wilbur Marshall. Right side of the screen in that neutral zone, no contact. Contact is the encroachment call. Rocker makes the tackle. Boy, this has been a struggle for Buffalo today, huh?
Gilbert with the overhand throw goes to big Pete Metzlars again. And this former Division III All-American in basketball hauls in his second reception. Now back to NFL Live. Bob?
Still tied at 14 in Cincinnati, Don. Near the goal line, here's James Brooks. He starts to rumble. But when he's hit, there's a fumble. All Sam Weish can do is mumble. at this latest Bengal stumble. Their playoff hopes remain a jumble. And admit it, you don't get this from Greg Gumbel. Don?
Give that man more to do.
Well done, Bob. First down and 10, Buffalo Bills. Down by 8. Fourth quarter, a lot of time left. Kenneth Davis, who was a 1,600-yard runner his senior season at TCU. But Alvin Walton, who's got to be the hardest hitting 180 pounds in football, 180 pounds of dynamite.
And, of course, with the way this defense plays, the strong safety's got a big part of the defense. Again, the counter gap run by the Buffalo Bills. You see Richer 51 pull, Wolford 69 pull. And Walton up there to make the slam. It's not a tackle. For little or no gain.
8:23 to play, clock running, second down and 11 for the Bills. Washington leads by 8. Gilbert gets some time, makes the connection. Jamie Mueller, who caught all those balls in the offseason, powers ahead for a first down. Todd Bowles, the free safety, finally got to him.
That may be the biggest move that Jamie Mueller has ever made in his career in the NFL. Comes out of the backfield. And watch this move. 51 Monty Coleman is the man there in coverage. When he ducks, whoop, that constitutes a major move by Jamie Mueller. Not known to be swivel-hipped, shaky, or tricky. He's a run-over people kind of guy.
Throwback. Lead blocker for all those Thurman Thomas yards. Now Kenneth Davis breaks off the left side. Good blocking by Wolford and Richer. As we again check the scoreboard, the 10-minute ticker. The Browns still tied up with the Bengals in the fourth quarter. That's what's interesting. The Bengals are out of it altogether if they lose.
Absolutely they are.
Dallas having no luck today at Atlanta. The Giants just getting by the hapless Patriots. Miami having extended its lead to 9 now.
If Cleveland beats Cincinnati, it will wipe out all the losses this year. In the offseason, they'll celebrate.
Could go. Alvin Walton on the run. One man to beat. He beat him. The race is on, and Alvin Walton's going to win it. As Don finally off the play, Kenneth Davis gets him down at the 5-yard line.
You can just see him back here waiting for this ball to be thrown. That is a 60-yard return, and here is the guy who eventually makes the interception. He's just waiting. He sees that tight end go out, comes up, Bowles catches it. Gilbert makes a good shot at him there, but then Kenneth Davis runs him down from behind. Nice play, Alvin Walton.
Just worn out, not hurt. Might have fallen on the ball.
Yeah, that'll knock the wind out of you. Hit right in the solar plexus.
Some player in high school, he was center on his high school basketball team, even though he's 6 feet tall, and they won the California State Championship.
Metzelar's the intended receiver. Boy, defenses call that lurking. You just stand back there and read the eyes of the quarterback. And of course, Gail Gilbert just locked on to Metzelar's, and Walt knew where it was going to be.
Skins looking to get in the end zone. They're up 15-7 on field goals by Chip Lohmiller. He's hit 5, and there's another player down. A few players down.
You see Buffalo, the players even yelling for more than
Schlereth.
Yeah, Schlereth, the offensive guard.
Only native-born Alaskan in the National Football League. Be all right. He's talking just about salmon fishing up there. He says sometimes they run so thick you can go in there like a bear and get them with your hands.
I walk across the top of the water on the back of salmon. Riggs now 15 carries for 65 yards. He'll be replaced by Addix. Here's Schlereth right here. See if we can pick up what happens to him. He's pushing, he's shoving. Can't really tell. He gets kind of caught down there in the pile again.
The Skins finally take it in for a touchdown. Gerald Riggs.
Knock-em down football. Straight ahead power zone blocking by the Hogs. And Riggs gets it in.
So the Redskins now open up a 22-7 lead with 6:17 to play.
Happy New Year, everybody, from Tommy Lasorda. This is how I looked before I lost 30 pounds in 3 months with the Ultra Slim Fast plan. But look at me now. The best part isn't how good I look, but how great I feel. And you know, Ultra Slim Fast is such a healthy diet. The best resolution you can make is to lose weight with Ultra Slim Fast. If you do, I know it will be a great year for you too.
Ultra Slim Fast. Give us a week. We'll take off the weight.
Recently, Acura introduced what many have called the greatest sports car the world has ever known. Our latest idea is somewhat bigger. The new Acura Legend.
This isn't what you think. It's a new kind of cold relief. Introducing fast-acting, better-tasting Tylenol Cold Effervescent. Strong, non-aspirin cold relief from Tylenol. The only effervescent cold medicine that speeds 2 cold medicines to your sneezing and congestion, while it sends Tylenol pain reliever to your aching body. New orange-flavored Tylenol Cold Effervescent, part of Tylenol's complete cold relief line. Nobody cares for your cold like Tylenol Cold.
The best bowls are on NBC Sports. The explosive Eric Bieniemy leads the #1 Colorado Buffaloes against the rocket Raheem Ishmael and the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. It's the primetime showdown to decide the national championship. The Federal Express Orange Bowl. New Year's Day, NBC is the place to be.
The Redskins kick off yet again. Low Miller booms it downfield to Edwards. Edwards lost it on the cut. He's down at the 21-yard line.
Now you go back to the touchdown. Watch the double team block. Center, Bostic, Grimm 68, and watch Riggs. Boom. These are absolutely big, tough guys, and they like smash-mouth football. Riggs just lowers his head. He runs over Carlton Bailey and the spike. All right, certain degree of difficulty on that one. That was nice. There you go, Gerald.
There's 2 of the best centers in the league playing in this game. Hull for Buffalo and Bostic for Washington. Now the throw downfield is caught by Don Smith. Minuski and Caldwell were on the tackle.
Redskins trying to quickly get some people on the field. Buffalo going with the hurry-up offense here. And they get it done. Redskins change their entire defense.
Receiver running the pattern was a rookie just called up, Vernon Turner, and he lost his footing cutting out.
Oh, we've got the junior varsity in there now.
Yep, it's everybody wins a letter. In its center is Mitch Farrat. And in pinch, the one-eyed black. Another throw. It's picked off this time by Martin Mayhew, the ex-Buffalo Bill. So Gail Gilbert is having a bad day. And the Bills are thinking about 2 weeks from now when they play their first playoff game.
Yeah, actually, I think they started the game thinking that way. Mayhew's not even close to the receiver. Watch how far off he is. This ball is so far overthrown that he makes the interception. Turner is not the intended receiver. The intended receiver was like 6 yards in front of Mayhew.
Rippon going the distance at quarterback. They want him sharp as he hands off to Reggie Dupard, a former New England Patriot. And now, as the Skins drive on, we go back to NFL Live. Bob?
All right, on Cincinnati's next possession, Don, after they lost the fumble near the goal line, everybody goes for the play-action fake from Boomer Esiason. He lofts it out to Eric Ball. Ball with a nice inside move at the 10. Bumps off the last guy at the 3. 48-yard touchdown. Cincinnati up 21-14, 8.5 minutes left.
Mr. Trumpy's eyes light up, an ex-Bengal. Proud ex-Bengal, 10 years of Bengal.
Yes, but because no prose, no poetry, no rhyming by Mr. Costas.
That was an outstanding couplet, though. That's tough to come up with those each update. Dupard himself couldn't do that. Here is a handoff and a carry down to the 22-yard line by Reggie Dupard, a #1 draft choice of the Patriots in '86 out of SMU. Now he's a Skin as we check the 10-minute ticker. It's coming, we're told. Atlanta with Deion Sanders running back an interception, 60 yards for a touchdown. Routing the Cowboys. Redskins leading here 22-7 with 4:10 to play. Dupard on first down gets to about the 21-yard line.
Now, if we play our cards right here and everyone cooperates, this should be the last drive of the game. No guarantee, but certainly neither coach wants any kind of injuries coming out of this game. Bruce Smith came in with 19 sacks. Derek Thomas got his 20th yesterday from Kansas City at Chicago. So he will not lead the conference in sacks.
Another Bill on the bench over there, iced down. Bruce Smith is in good shape. He's only been practicing 1 day a week, if that, because of fluid on one knee. They haven't talked much about that. Now fans are on the field as we go to live action. Straight ahead carry. Down to the 20-yard line. The cheer was for the fan who was tackled and is now being escorted out by yellow-jacketed security guards. Next Sunday, join NBC Sports for the AFC wild card game. We won't know until tonight just who will be involved in that. One of 4 wild card games next weekend. First round games as they're called now. Today kicks off with NFL Live. And it's game time. An AFC wild card first round game next Sunday on NBC Sports. Highly likely Kansas City will be at Miami. Rippon throws and makes the connection, and it's going to go for 6. Stephen Hobbs, a first-year player.
On the catch and run. Harv Levy, Ted Marchibroda. Hobbs' first catch for a touchdown. This is a great job by Rippon avoiding the rush. That strength of arm. Falling down, he gets it down to Hobbs. I'm not sure what they call that pattern, but the result is 6 points.
Extra points spun up and good by Lohmiller. A week ago, the Skins led at Indianapolis 28-21 with 2 minutes to play and lost in regulation 35-28 to the Colts.
Upon its introduction, the first Acura Legend set a new standard for performance sedans. But as impressive as that may have been, it was merely a reflection of things to come. Introducing the new Legend from Acura.
own choice.
At Northwest, a free flight is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Fly 3 round trips, get 1 free. The more you fly, the better it gets. Earn free flights to terrific sites. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. For details, call Northwest or your travel agent today. Important conditions apply.
When you're all stuffed up and use an ordinary nasal spray, it drips into your tissue where it can't help you breathe. But not Sinex Ultrafine Mist. Its medicine stays where you need it, so you can breathe the way you want to. We don't drip down, we clear up.
This winter, the best is on NBC Sports. The NFL playoffs, the NBA All-Star Game and regular season, the PGA Tour, the World Indoor Track and Field Championships, and the World Figure Skating Championships. This winter, NBC is truly the place to be.
Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy back at RFK. A spinning kickoff, the 8th kickoff of this game by Chip Lohmiller of the Redskins. Don Smith runs it back for Buffalo to the 25.
8 kickoffs, 5 field goals, 3 extra points. Lohmiller's had a month's worth of work here.
Some clean jerseys in that Bills offensive line. Glenn Parker in. The Bills, with look at their record over the last 3 seasons at Rich Stadium, 23-2. They have a first-round bye as Eastern Division champions with the best record in the conference. They'll go to 13-3 on the season. Gilbert wisely throws it away. No one was near it, but no grounding call. That stops the clock with 2:18 to play.
Yeah, now here's the reason why there's no grounding, because he didn't throw it away to avoid the sack. He threw it away for the incompletion.
Redskins will be heading up to the vet to play Buddy Ryan's Eagles. Done well over the years at Philadelphia. Week 10, as you see, lost 28-14 and won in Week 7 against Philadelphia here at RFK.
The problem for Philadelphia, the problem for Washington playing Philadelphia is the ability of Randall Cunningham to just control the football game by himself, throwing it and running.
How good is this guy, Randall Cunningham? You got to outlaw him.
He's off the chart, that's for sure.
You have perfect coverage, and you're almost in worse shape.
Absolutely.
Because when he runs, what a great one.
He'll run for 100 yards in any game that you let him.
Jim Kelly feeling better about his knee as the Bills are out of this one.
Why is Coors Light the official beer of the 90s? Let's count the reasons. 1, the Silver Bullet is the beer that won't slow you down. 2, it's brewed with pure Rocky Mountain spring water. 3, it's got a neat silver can. 4 and 5, Coors Light is available in all 49 states and Canada. And 6, it tastes good. Let's keep all 6 reasons in mind the next time you want a beer. Thank you.
At Acura, we believe that the best way to discourage limited thinking is to design cars in an environment without limits. The NSX, precision-crafted performance from Acura.
Hold it, ho, ho, ho. So you're gonna finally meet Cindy, huh? Tonight. Good, so first impressions are very important. I think. Okay, now imagine, lights are low, the music's soft, knock the door opens up, somebody's out there doing this. What is this? She's got dandruff? No, you have dandruff. No, yes you do. I shampoo every day. You can shampoo your brains out with regular shampoo, wouldn't matter. Your brains out? Yeah, well, so use that. Head and Shoulders? Works for me, my friend. But you don't have dandruff. Exactamundo!
Head and Shoulders, because you never get a second chance to make a first impression.
29-7 is the count at RFK Stadium in Washington. Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy. The Bills got a little good news before the game. They haven't had much during the game, but Jim Kelly was throwing rather well before the game, loosening up that right arm.
Well, there's nothing wrong with his arm. He can't run around, that's for sure. Interesting, he's out there throwing. Jack Ham, the Hall of Famer, doing a game on radio here, standing next to him.
Jack now broadcasting from Mutual. He wasn't bad either.
Yeah, I didn't think quarterbacks would get within that close a proximity to any linebacker anywhere.
A Hall of Fame linebacker, Jack Ham, as the Bills go to the run. A power sweep, and Kenneth Davis breaks it. Looking for a block. Puts on a move, and Davis is down to the 20-yard line. Finally, the rookie, Andre Collins, ran him down.
People in Buffalo are going to be saying, now, where was that all day? Well,
people in Buffalo are getting ready for a week from next weekend.
Yeah, this again is part of the counter series that Buffalo runs, but not quite for the score.
In Western New York, we call it the Niagara Frontier.
The Niagara Frontier, do we? Well, give me some prospect of what the weather might be in a couple of weeks when whoever has to play in a rich stadium.
Well, you know, it'll probably be cold, clear.
What's cold?
With wind.
What's cold?
In Western New York in January, we kind of like it in that 10-degree area. With the chill factor, maybe about -15 with the wind.
Touchdown, Steve Tasker.
Steve Tasker goes into the end zone. A special teams Pro Bowler. Jim Kelly saluting that good work by Steve Tasker, who that's his first reception this year, or second. First for a touchdown.
Both. No, second, both for a touchdown. 21 yards. With Don Beebe out with that broken leg, maybe they start using Steve Tasker a little more.
Cold does not impair. Now, you played 10 years in the league. Cold is not the wind, and cold is the difference.
That is correct.
And 80,000 people who are allowed and take away your snap count.
Cold affects both teams. Rain affects both teams. Snow affects both teams. But half the game, the wind affects only one team.
The extra point is hit up and good by Scott Norwood, who's had limited work today. So Steve Tasker heading back to the Pro Bowl as a special teams player. 8 Bills are Pro Bowlers, but Washington continues to command this game. The Skins will go to 10-6 for the regular season. The Bills will finish 13-3.
Kelly likes this throw, and certainly this catch. Tasker, one of the most popular players on the Buffalo Bills football team.
Coming on, watch him cover the kick. Be sure to be with NBC Sports New Year's Day for a great college bowl excitement. It kicks off at 1 with the Hall of Fame Bowl, Clemson and Illinois. Then the Fiesta Bowl, Louisville goes against Alabama. The Tide got hot late in the season, really started to roll. The Orange Bowl then for the national championship, Colorado takes another crack at Notre Dame.
You realize that Colorado is 0-4 in bowl games?
Really?
Yeah, 0-4.
They've only played in 4?
Yeah.
I know Ohio State beat them in the Orange Bowl one year, and Notre Dame did last year.
Now they're 0-4.
Colorado's good. The executive producer of NBC Sports is Terry O'Neill, and the coordinating producer of NBC's football is John Faratzis. Today's game was produced by Terry Ewert, directed by Andy Rosenberg, associate director Doug Graber, production associates Ed Fibeshoff and Eric Dorfschneider, director of sports technical operations John Leland, production manager Wally Hill, technical director Ron Davis. We thank them all as the Bills are ready to kick off with 1:22 to play, and the Redskins in command of the game, 29-14.
Redskins expecting an onside kick here. Pooch kick.
Pooch, the short pooch kick.
Very smart.
Problems too.
Very smart. You see Govea signal for a fair catch?
Yeah.
Very, very smart.
Well, Horning won a game one time on that. Called for a fair catch, and they get a free kick at a field goal.
Absolutely. Very, very smart. You know, that just shows you how extensive the coaching is of the Washington Redskins. Those receivers know that they're protected if the ball does not hit the ground. That's why on onside kicks you normally see the ball hit the ground first.
Talk about records Trump to stand a long time, like DiMaggio's hitting streak since '41. In 1960, Paul Horning for the Packers scored 176 points in a 12-game season.
That will never be broken. Obviously, they play 16 games now, but that's when he was a place kicker with Green Bay, right?
Right.
There's Frank Reich. He's now 4-1 as a starter for the Buffalo Bills. 12-1 over the last several years, including his time at Maryland, but you still got to think that the Bills have the upper hand in the playoffs. I mean, even if the weather's good in Buffalo for Buffalo standards, whoever goes in there is thinking all week long, you know, it might be 9 feet of snow, minus 27 wind chill factor. It just changes your mind about playing.
Well, they had some good, they got some of that Phoenix weather. Phoenix came in there, was 90 in Phoenix. They went to Buffalo, and they had gale force winds and sleet. Cardinals were history as soon as they went out. And that'll do it for the regular season. The Redskins standing tall in their final game. Coach Joe Gibbs wanted his team to get back that sharp edge for the playoffs, and they did, as two old friends, Marv Levy, actually coached here under George Allen in '72 when the Redskins went to the Super Bowl. The valuable signature of Cornelius Bennett being passed out as Rippon and Reich talk it over. Bruce Smith looking good. The Bills did have one top player go down, but apparently not a serious injury. Leon Seals went out with a strained knee.
Bruce Smith did not get a sack today.
That'll do it from Washington. A Happy New Year to you all. Now for Bob Trumpy, this is Don Crickey as we go to Bob Costas at NFL Live. Bob?
Okay, Don, thanks a lot. I'll be back here with Will McDonough and O.J. Simpson. We'll take a look at the scores, some of the highlights, and give you all the playoff implications. We'll do it as the postgame show gets underway right after these messages. Please stay with us.
(1874), the first transatlantic cable connecting Ireland and America. It was made by Siemens. That was then. This is now. Today, Siemens makes telephone switches that handle 1 million calls in a single hour, carry voice, text, and data on a single phone line. And at 23 research sites in America, the people of Siemens are developing technologies to connect us all to the future. Siemens, precision thinking.
Got a painful cold? Gotta get relief? Get Alka-Seltzer Plus cold medicine. It relieves painful cold symptoms some others miss with a decongestant, antihistamine, and a pain reliever you can't find in any other leading cold medicine.
The pain's gone. Ah, I can breathe.
Everything feels better, better, better.
Alka-Seltzer Plus cold medicine. Relief for your painful cold. And now for sinus and allergy relief, try new Alka-Seltzer Plus sinus allergy medicine.
Dear USA, there is a city where marketplaces are full of wonders, where giants play, troubadours entertain, and elves and dragons dance together. A magical city where the friends you make are friends for life. It's Barcelona. It's in Spain.
Final score, the Washington Redskins prevail over the Buffalo Bills 29-14 in the concluding regular season game. The focus is clear now on the playoffs. The Bills will be off next week. Then they will play the wild card winner that had the worst regular season record, if you can follow that. The Redskins have a tough road. 2 hours to the north, they go up to Philadelphia, and off they go against the Eagles in a wild card game next weekend. We'll continue after these words from your local station.
A promotional fee has been paid to NBC by United Airlines. Come fly the friendly skies.
Cifuentes and Van Owen turn up the fire.
I think it's completely unprofessional.
And a war game turns Markowitz into Rambowitz.
I'm going back out on recon.
All New LA Law, NBC Thursday.
One more day, dear. One more smile. Feel the heat, dear, all the while. For these days have a warm we'll treasure.
are what you eat. What's true for man is true for machines. The right diet can make a difference. Get Mobile Super Unleaded Plus. Its detergent formula can unclog vital engine parts. For power and performance, drive your engine clean with Mobile Super Unleaded Plus.
Your Dodge dealer announces the Golden Advantage. Get a Caravan equipped with the Family Value Package for under $14,000. That's a Caravan equipped with automatic transmission, air conditioning, power remote side mirrors, intermittent windshield wipers, our famous 770 warranty, and more. The gold standard of minivans, Dodge Caravan shines a little brighter this holiday season. Now get $500 to $1,000 cash back on Caravans in stock.
See your Team Dodge dealer and get the advantage. Advantage Dodge. Channel 2 congratulates the Buffalo Bills on their third straight AFC East championship.
Cincinnati territory, the game being called by Tom Hammond and Joe Namath.
Hago stands in the pocket, delivers intended for Metcalf, who was covered by Rod Jones, closely covered by Jones, and the ball sails about 5 yards too deep.
I'll tell you, Jones had Metcalf wrapped up that time. As a matter of fact, Metcalf did end up slowing down in his pattern because there was such good coverage on him that time. 3rd and 10, you can bet they're going on 4th down too, Tom. If they don't make it here on 3rd down, there's not going to be any field goal attempt.
There's the situation. Hago overshoots the intended receiver, and it's intercepted. David Fulcher, the all-pro safety, intercepts the overthrown pass, and the Bengals will have a chance for the playoffs.
2 on 2 then. All right, so barring some sort of fumble by the Bengals, which is highly unlikely, this is wrapped up. Cincinnati, by the skin of their collective teeth, wins the game, and now they await outcomes elsewhere. If Houston wins tonight at home without Warren Moon against Pittsburgh, the Bengals are the division champions. If Pittsburgh beats Houston, Houston's out, Pittsburgh's the division champion, then Detroit would have to beat Seattle in order for Cincinnati to get in as a wild card team. So Cincinnati could be anywhere from division champion to out of it.
I understand all of that, Juice.
I think I do.
Listen, the one thing that stood out for me today in these games is Cleveland and New England. 2 worst teams in the league did not mail it in on the last day of the season. Here are both teams that were giant underdogs. You know, everybody said they were going to get bombed, and they both played their hearts out right down to the end of the ball game.
Yeah, New England came very close to upsetting the Giants. Admittedly, the Giants didn't have anything to play for except to stay sharp for the playoffs, but New England had a makeable field goal with about a minute and a half to go. They could have tied that game at 13 and sent it to overtime. They lost to the Giants by a score of 13-10. Juice?
Well, it looks to me like Pittsburgh is going to be playing Cincinnati again. I give Seattle a lot of credit. They've been very competitive all year, but Barry Sanders just may be a little too much under the dome up there.
He's clairvoyant. Got Pittsburgh in there already.
It's hard enough to sort out the what-ifs. He's now telling us the outcome of games that haven't been played yet. Get this man on a plane to Vegas. We're back after this.
This isn't what you think.